This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
Your success at ICC starts with freshman orientation. Learn what the college has to offer, register for classes, meet your new ICC family, and discover all the ways to get involved across our 3 locations.
Hey guys, it's Madison, an orientation leader here at ICC. After you apply for enrollment, sign up for orientation because spots are filling up fast. Find out more at iccms.edu/orientation.
Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
Man, these Red Bull slushes are invigorating, right?
I know it, man. I'm feeling confident, feeling pumped. I want to jump this thing.
I don't know if that's such a good idea, TJ.
No, man, I need help. Can we jump this thing?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Rush in for Sonic's new Red Bull slushes. Half price during happy hour.
Bacon, Swiss cheese, juicy chicken on a King's Hawaiian bun.
Oh, what else is it saying?
It's saying you still owe me that $30.
Hang up!
Hurry into Sonic for the King's Hawaiian Chicken or Burger Club and try order ahead to get happy hour anytime.
Student involvement is a top priority here at Itawamba Community College.
If you want to be involved with student government, then the Student Government Association is the place for you.
If you have a stellar GPA, then Phi Theta Kappa is for you.
If you're interested in the diverse culture of our campus population, then the Diversity Club is for you.
If you're interested in leadership and service, then Indian Delegation is for you.
If you're majoring in computer programming or computer networking, then CPNA, the Computer Programming Networking Association, is for you.
If you're interested in good conversations and free lunch on Thursdays, then the Wesley Foundation is for you.
Our health science programs also have specific organizations for those majors.
Student Activities is excited to bring you new opportunities here at the ICC Tupelo campus.
Whatever your passion may be, we have a place for you.
This video is brought to you by Phi Theta Kappa, Beta Chi Sigma, Tupelo campus.
Good afternoon and Roll Tribe ICC fans. Adam Gore here on the road with your MACJC 2009 Conference Champion Indians as they play 2 this afternoon here against Gulf Coast in Perkinson, Mississippi. We do welcome everyone watching here on Let'sGoICCTV.com as well as listening on 95.1 FM The Farm, your hometown country station back in Saltillo. We're moments away from that First American National Bank opening pitch between the Indians and the Bulldogs. As the teams are warming up right now, we're moments away from the national anthem as well. Let's hear a few words from our sponsors and take you to the field here in a moment. Back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
First American National Bank is a local bank. Our 10 locations are right here in Northeast Mississippi. Banking decisions are made locally by people who live here. It's been that way for more than 50 years. Our involvement in the community is important to us. That's where our roots are. Technology, it changes daily, but our community is what keeps us together. If you like high-tech banking, we've got that too. Follow the flag to First American National Bank, from Iuka to Tupelo.
The newly formed Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi wants to make sure you are receiving the best orthopedic care possible. Our staff of 7 experienced, board-certified surgeons specialize in a specific area of the body and can treat you with the newest and latest technology available to fast-track your road to recovery. Call us for same-day appointments at 662-377-BONE and come see us at Gloucester Creek Village in Tupelo. At the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our specialty is you.
Itawamba Community College is now offering 3-day weekends. You can be one of the first to take advantage of a compact course schedule with a majority of classes offered Monday through Thursday. Let us customize your education to fit your needs. Become a part of the ICC family and apply today at apply.iccms.edu. ICC, the best start here.
Davis Ford in Fulton is your Ford dealer for new cars, trucks, and SUVs and has a wide inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Find your next dream car or truck from our Ford showroom or go online to davisfordsales.com and search our new and used inventory to see what is on our lot. So stop by and test drive the all-new fuel-efficient Ford Focus or Ford Fusion or the new Ford Explorer or F-150. Go further with Davis Ford, 904 West Main Street in Fulton or online davisfordsales.com.
And welcome back as we put the brakes on the Davis Ford pregame show. Remember, whether it be your new or used vehicles, stop by and see the fine folks there at Davis Ford and experience the Davis Ford difference at 904 West Main Street in Fulton. Give them a call at 862-3711, or you can visit their website, davisfordsales.com. We'll take a look at today's Coca-Cola starting lineups here in between innings as we normally do. Today's pitcher on the hill for Gulf Coast as he's taking his warm-up tosses here is going to be Dawson Hall. Dawson will take his warm-up tosses, and we'll take another quick timeout. Here, a word from Davis Ford and more as we await that First American National Bank opening pitch here from Perk.
Davis Ford in Fulton is your Ford dealer for new cars, trucks, and SUVs and has a wide inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Find your next dream car or truck from our Ford showroom or go online to davisfordsales.com and search our new and used inventory to see what is on our lot. So stop by and test drive the all-new fuel-efficient Ford Focus or Ford Fusion or the new Ford Explorer or F-150. Go further with Davis Ford, 904 West Main Street in Fulton or online davisfordsales.com.
First American National Bank is a local bank. Our 10 locations are right here in Northeast Mississippi. Banking decisions are made locally by people who live here, and it's been that way for more than 50 years. Our involvement in the community is important to us. That's where our roots are. Technology, it changes daily, but our community is what keeps us together. If you like high-tech banking, we've got that too. Follow the flag to First American National Bank, from Iuka to Tupelo.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we're just moments away from that First American National Bank opening pitch here between ICC and Gulf Coast. ICC coming in with a record of 37-6-1, 22-4 in conference play. They've already clinched the MACJC Conference Championship and will be hosting the Region 23 tournament next week as the first pitch swung on and missed for strike one. A 2:05 First American National Bank opening pitch. First American National Bank, follow the flag from Iuka to Tupelo, a proud sponsor of ICC Athletics. That pitch up high, even to the count now at 1-1. This is Kyle Krieger at the plate here for the Indians. Kyle batting .301 on the year. He's got a .398 on base percentage and a .466 slugging percentage. Takes that pitch high and inside as well. 2-1 now is the count here to Krieger. So it'll be Kyle Krieger, Jackson Lancaster, and LeBryant Sedale due up here in the contest to start us off in the top of the first. And that pitch drifting high for a ball. Of course, all of our stats being brought to you by the Sonic in Fulton. You'll hear commercials from them throughout the day, but 862-3000, you give them a call, place an order, or you can drive in as well. As Krieger takes a healthy chop at that one, comes up empty. And so now the count goes full at 3-2 here to Krieger. So he's going to have to protect the plate. And he fouls this one off, and he keeps that bat alive here. We'll try to find you some stats here on Dawson Hall. Awaiting the 3-2 pitch, and this one popped up, and it's going to drift out of play. And we'll stay at 3-2 here on Krieger. We do want to welcome everyone watching on Let'sGoICCTV.com as well as listening on 95.1 The Farm, your hometown country station right there in South Tillow. DJ Kevin Russell, proud partner with ICC Athletics here this afternoon. And there's ball four. So a nice at bat that time by Krieger. Fouled off a couple of pitches and found his way on base with the walk. So Dawson Hall, he's 11-8 on the year. He's got a 2.49 ERA. That was his 17th walk of the season. So he's 8-1 with 65 innings pitched, giving up 50 hits, 32 runs, 18 of those earned. He's walked 16 and struck out 66. And that pitch in there for a strike. This is Jackson Lancaster at the plate. He's batting .338 on the year. .443 is his own base percentage. And he's also got a .519 slugging percentage. He's signed with Missouri, so will be one of 3 guys going to the SEC next year from ICC as that pitch paints the outside corner. A beautiful pitch for a strike, one that Lancaster didn't necessarily agree with as he shook his head as he stepped out of the box. We're at the top of the first inning. Scoreless, no outs, and a runner over at first base here for the Indians. 0-2 pitch coming. Set up outside, couldn't get Lancaster to chase. Not a bad pitch that time, as see if you couldn't get him to chase one after getting that outside corner called. 1-2 now goes the count here on Jackson Lancaster. Lancaster playing in center field like he normally does. He's awaiting this 1-2 offering here from Hall. Runner at first base is Krieger. Lancaster fouls this one off, backing out of play. Good crowd out for ICC. Of course, you don't really have to twist a whole lot of arms for people in the northern part of the state to have to come down to the coast on a weekend. It is a Friday, but you can stretch it out and make it an enjoyable weekend. A lot of the parents came down last night. Some of them staying on the coast. Some of them stays there in Wiggins, as well as that ball in the dirt. 2-2 now is the count. Well, I say dirt is the turf. As you can tell, they got that turf batter's box. It does go into natural grass in front of it, and in the infield and outfield as well. So 2 balls, 2 strikes is the count here on Jackson Lancaster. Lancaster looks at that one inside for a ball. Let's give you the dimensions. They don't have it at dead center, but down the lines, 310. So what do you think? About 350, 375. As this pitch coming, Lancaster fouls it back. I'd say about 360, 365 to the gaps, and 380, 390, talking about how tall that wall is out there in center field. So I would almost compare it to Roy Crescent Field in the same type of dimensions. Ripped, and it's going to get past the first baseman, so that's going to go for a hit, and Krieger, who was in motion, will end up at third base. Well, nicely done that time by Jackson Lancaster. First baseman did everything he could to get in front of it that time. But a blistering shot gets past the first baseman, and now Indians have runners on the corners with with no outs, and this is going to be LeBryant Siddell coming to the plate. So a pretty good start to the contest here for the Indians. That was Jackson Lancaster's 54th hit of the year. LeBryant Siddell coming to the plate. He's batting .284. He's got a .437 on base percentage and .362. Is his slugging percentage. That's coming into this series. Siddell looks at that pitch, and it's in there for a strike. Good breaking ball that time that dipped right back into the strike zone. ICC wearing their gray and white camos, gray pants, and as always, the blue hats, and that is a staple of a Rick Collier baseball team. As Siddell looks at that ball in dirt, blocked up nicely that time by Matt Enlow as the count evens up at 1-1. Siddell has 40 hits on the year, 5 doubles, 2 home runs. He has driven in 23. Would love to pick up his 24th here. He's walked 34 times, has struck out 24. As he's awaiting the pitch here, 1-1 pitch coming. Siddell fouls this one back and out of play. And that just reminded me, I never moved the van from where I parked unload the equipment. So hopefully none of them would be a straight pop-up. If not, that's going to make for an interesting weekend here on the coast. As Don Hammock, the great SID down here, just kind of smirked and smiled after I said that. Ground ball to the shortstop. This could be a tailor-made double play. There's one. Throw over is in time for 2, but the Indians do score the run. So that is a Little Caesars double play, 6-4-3. It does come with an RBI. Let's go back and look at that one as you see. And nicely done, Little Caesars double play to get 2 outs. And if you're Gulf Coast, you'll trade an out for, or 2 outs for a run in that situation. And now this is going to be Justin Medlin coming to the plate. Just takes a look at the first pitch he looks at, and it's going to be missing low for a ball. Medlin batting .297. He's got a .411 on base percentage, and .531 is his slugging percentage. He's been in a little bit of a slump after hitting those 4 home runs against East Central, and this shot lifted deep, and he may be saying, Adam, shut your mouth. I'm not in a slump no more, and yes, he is. A solo home run from Justin Medlin, and that puts ICC up 2-0. Well, just got that one in the air, and it's a short porch out there in right field, and that one snuck its way out of the ballpark, and that's going to go for his 8th home run of the year. Well, how big was that double play turn by the Bulldogs? As now the score 2-0. And now this is going to be Brett Coker coming to the plate. So Coker will stand in, shows bunt, trying to sneak one in that time, misses for strike 1. So a nice start to the contest here. Indians have plated 2 runs in the top of the first. That pitch, a beauty, called a strike. 0-2 now is the count here to Brett Coker, the shortstop. He's batting in that 5 spot. We'll tell you more about the ICC starting lineup in the exchange of innings, as that pitch just missing outside. Not a bad spot at all for Dawson Hall to miss, just missing a little too low for the umpire's liking. So waiting the 1-2 offering. Hard hit ground ball, shortstop, gloves it cleanly. He's going to have plenty of time to throw. It's a little high, but the hop and catch is made for the putout, 6-3 to end the innings. But the Indians do get 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left on base here in the top of the first. Let's take a look at today's Coca-Cola starting lineups presented by the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works. And ICC and Coke, as always, is a winning combination, and Coach Rick Collier, he hopes he's got that winning combo put together here in Game 1. We've already introduced you to the first 5 batters of the game. Kyle Krieger, who is playing at second base. Jackson Lancaster's in center field. LeBryant Sedale, he's out in left field. Justin Medlin, who just had that solo home run, he's playing first base. And batting 5th is Brett Coker, the shortstop. Batting 6th will be the catcher, Austin Powell, who is recently committed to Ole Miss. Jacob Hall, the DH, he'll be batting in that 7th spot. Lane Domino, he'll be playing in right field. He's batting 8th. And Russell Bunch will be batting 9th and playing third base. On the hill here for the Indians in Game 1 is going to be Mississippi State signee Houston Harding. He is 10-0 on the year, pitched 75 innings, has given up 49 hits, 22 runs, 17 of those earned. He's walked 35, struck out 84, and has a 2.04 ERA. That's your Coca-Cola starting lineups as the sun's starting to peek out here on the coast. And now let's introduce you to the starting lineups for the Bulldogs. Leading things off will be Ike Williams playing in center field. Miller Hancock will be the shortstop. Dee Hathorn will be the left fielder. Brandon Parker will be out in right field. Alden Davis will be the third baseman. Cullen O'Shea will be over at first base. Catching will be Matt Enlow. Fisher Ray will be playing second base. And Nick Sims will be the DH batting in the 9 spot. And we've already talked about Dawson Hall, who is getting the start today. Let's take a quick break and hear a word from Coke and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
My burger goes best with mustard.
Ketchup and mustard.
Grass-fed beef.
No, corn-fed.
On the grill.
Now, flat top.
Iceberg lettuce.
Nah.
Arugula. Jalapeno.
No way. Avocado, dude.
Medium rare. Gotta be well done. Brioche.
Sesame seeds.
American cheese. Cheddar.
Can I have a turkey burger? What? Turkey's for Thanksgiving, man. I like my burger with the Coke.
I'll agree to that. Strictly with the Coke. Only with the Coke.
Coke and a burger. Come on.
All right.
That's where you get the flavor.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 2-0 is your score here in the bottom of the first inning. Game 1 between ICC and Gulf Coast. Remind everybody, you can follow us on Twitter at Let's Go ICC, as I'm trying to update that now. As the first pitch is high and inside from Hootie for a ball. And that pitch also high and inside. 2-0 is the count now here on Ike Williams, the center fielder who is starting us off. And that pitch missing also for a ball. So Hootie struggling out of the gate here. 3-0 is the count. And that one right down Broadway, taking the whole way that time, was Williams. And swung on and missed, just could not catch up with the fastball. Good job by Hootie to battle back and now force the count to go full at 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and no outs as Ike Williams, Miller, Hancock, and Hawthorne are all due up here for the Bulldogs. Pitch coming, and that one misses just low and inside. The ball kind of bounces away from Austin Powell, who looked back and found it. And so much like the Indians, when Kyle Krieger reached on a walk, the Bulldogs answer with one on their other end to start the home half of the first with a leadoff walk to Ike Williams. And now this is going to bring up the shortstop, Miller Hancock. Take a look at some Sonic stats on Hancock. So we wait the pitch here. Breaking pitch, and it's a beauty. In there for a strike. Miller is batting .371 on the year. He's got a .460 on base percentage. .543 is his slugging percentage. So no outs and a runner over at first base here for the Bulldogs. Bottom of the first, they trail it 2-0 here to the Indians. Regular season finale for ICC. As that pitch missing low and inside for a ball. 1-1 now is the count. Harding kind of looking back at the home plate umpire, wanting to know where that one was. Didn't really get any type of indication unless he told the catcher. Now he's coming up, said it was too far inside for his liking. As now the count goes 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, no outs, and a runner on first here for the Bulldogs. Bottom of the first inning, ICC leading it 2-0. Runner goes. Throw down is in time. No doubt on that one. As let's go back and look at that one on the Little Caesars instant replay there. As that was just a good throw that time by Austin Powell. Had him dead to rights, and so that will erase the base runner, and now we've got 1 out. The count is 2-1 here on Miller Hancock. And so a big time out there as Bulldogs trying to get aggressive on the bases. This is trouble. It's going to be to the gap, and oh man, how big is that play by the Indians to be able to get that out. Now they're going to try to ask the runner to go to 3. No, he's going to track back to second as the ball took a funny hop off the wall out there in right center. Good job by Jackson Lancaster, find it quickly and get it back in. And man, how big now is that out for the Indians, as that would have easily scored Williams. But instead now with 1 out, that's just going to be a double for Hancock, and this will be D. Hawthorne, the left fielder, coming to the plate. Hawthorne batting .377 on the year, .464 on base percentage, and .679, a really good slugging percentage there for Hawthorne. Takes a look at a bender, says it's too far outside. And Harding kind of shaking his head, thought he liked that one too, so just can't quite find the corners that the umpire is going to give him this afternoon. As he throw back to second, it's going to get away. And then a good job there by Brett Coker, though. The ball came off the bag, and it bounced out into shallow left field, but Coker was there to cover things up. And pretty good pickoff move. The runner, I don't think he would have got him out, would have been a bang-bang play in that situation, but being that close now, you figure Hancock's going to probably take about a half a step closer back to the bag in this situation. 1-0 is the count here to Hawthorne, the left fielder. And they do it again, and the tag is not there. That throw was a little bit lower. It would have been a pretty good pickoff move, as Krieger kind of laughing that one off. That's for the second time Hancock had to get down and dirty to get back on second base just before the tag was applied. So now they'll break away from this situation and set to throw, and a pitch that was just a bit too up that time. 2-0 now is the count here to Hawthorne. There is 1 out and a runner on second base here in the bottom of the first inning. ICC and Gulf Coast getting after it here in the regular season finale for the Indians. Gulf Coast, they need a couple of wins today, as there's a big swing and a miss as it's kind of a log jam in the bottom half of the standings. 10 teams in the chase for the final 9 spots. That's a throw to second. Ooh, nearly got him again as he just got back. Of course, ICC's already secured their spot in postseason play with the regular season or state championship since they no longer have the state championship. Northwest, they're in action today at Pearl River. They're at 20-6. Jones is right behind them at 19-7. Pearl River 17-9. As this pitch popped up, major league pop-up, Medlin's going to drift over in foul territory and will come back in fair territory, and it's caught for the out. Well, the wind is going to be a factor today as there's some rain expected to move into the area as we progress throughout the day. Hopefully be able to get these 2 games in before that happens. So a good job over there by the Middle Tennessee signee, Justin Medlin, who had that solo home run in the top half of the inning to drift back in and make the play over there at first for the second out. So with 2 outs now, this is going to bring up Brandon Parker, the right fielder. Brandon coming into this series batting .359, an on-base percentage of .409, and a team-high .718 slugging percentage. He's batting in that 4th spot, going to try to get things sparked here with 2 outs. Swings on the first pitch he sees. This one driven deep. Jackson Lancaster's going to have to go back to the warning track and makes the play. As that one just a step onto the warning track, Jackson Lancaster had to hurry to get out there, and he's got really good speed, showing off why Missouri likes the center fielder here at ICC as he collects the 3rd and final out of the inning. Gulf Coast gets no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We've played 1 here in Perkinston. ICC leads it 2-0 as we'll take a break and head to the bottom half, or excuse me, the top of the 2nd inning, right here on the ICC Sports Network.
Yeah, these Red Bull slushes are invigorating, right?
I know it, man. I'm feeling confident, feeling pumped. I want to jump this thing.
I don't know if that's such a good idea, TJ.
No, man, I need help. Can we jump this thing?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Rush in for Sonic's new Red Bull slushes. Half price during happy hour.
Bacon, Swiss cheese, juicy chicken on a King's Hawaiian bun.
Oh, what else is it saying?
Oh, it's saying you still owe me that $30.
Hang up!
Hurry into Sonic for the King's Hawaiian Chicken or Burger Club and try order ahead to get happy hour anytime.
Your success at ICC starts with freshman orientation. Learn what the college has to offer, register for classes, meet your new ICC family, and discover all the ways to get involved across our 3 locations.
Hey guys, it's Madison, an orientation leader here at ICC. After you apply for enrollment, sign up for orientation because spots are filling up fast. Find out more at iccms.edu/orientation.
Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set to go here. As Austin Powell will start us off, he swung and missed that time. Just got word that the game is not on the radio station yet, so having to send that text to find out what's up there. Austin Powell rips one right back up the middle for a leadoff single, 3rd hit of the day here for the Indians. Nice at bat there by Austin Powell. Go back and look at that on the Little Caesars instant replay here as he just laid back, waited on it, and hammered it through the gap out to center field. And a nice start to the inning there for the Indians. And now this is going to be Jacob Hall. Jacob will dig in with no outs and a runner over at first base. 2-0 is your score. Hall takes a look at that one, and it's in there for a strike. Nice pitch from Dawson Hall. So a little Hall-on-Hall action here, if you will. Real quick, got to give a shout-out to some of our supporters. We talked about it. If we, as the throw gets away over to first, and this is going to allow Brett Coker to head to second. So that's going to be an advance on the throwing error as Austin Powell will scamper over to second. As I was saying there, we talk about the support between teams, baseball, softball, basketball, football. Got a couple of softball parents tuning in here on the Red Channel as Carrie, make sure I say that right because it sounds like I'm rhyming, but yeah. Carrie and Larry Miney are checking in, the parents of our softball twins, Ellie and not Ellie. As that pitch just missing outside, 1-1 now is the count. Of course, softball, they'll be in action on Sunday. You can catch that game right here on the Red Channel. 1 ball, 1 strike, and no outs. A runner at second base after Powell was able to advance on the error. That pitch missing outside for a ball. As this one's going to be popped up. Left side of the field. Left fielder coming up now and will step underneath it for the out. So a good pitch that time by Dawson Hall to get the fly out to left field for the first out of the inning.
Number 9, Lane Domino, right fielder.
So now this will bring up Lane Domino. So Domino will step in, swings on the first pitch he sees, and that's going to go for a base hit. Well, nice job that time by Lane Domino, just being aggressive, as Hall has done a good job of throwing first pitch strikes, and ICC just waiting back on that one, and that's going to be the 4th hit of the day. And now with runners on the corners here for the Indians, this is going to bring up Russell Bunch in that 9 spot, playing over at third base. So Bunch will try to see if the Indians can pick up a few more runs here and keep these bats hot, as there's 1 out. Runners on the corners here for ICC. The speedy Domino is over at first base. Bunch's bat has been hot over the last few series. Would like to see that continue here. So he takes a look at that first pitch. It's in there for a strike. Take a look at some Sonic stats on Russell Bunch. Batting .313, he's got a .446 on base percentage. .455 is his slugging. Behind in the count now, 0-1 here with 1 out. Runner goes, ball gets away, and that will be a stolen base for Lane Domino. And just a good pitch to pick the run on that time, as the pitch was in the dirt. For Domino, that is going to be his 12th stolen base of the year. So now, Bunch, who is at the plate, he's got 26 RBIs. And with the speed of Domino, if he can get something down to the gap, he can possibly push in 27 and 28. 2-0 is your score. As Dawson will step off and Bunch will reset here. We're in the top of the 2nd inning. 1-1 is the count. That pitch in there for a strike, and home plate umpire taking a little bit of time to figure out what he wanted to call there, and now the count goes 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Runners on 2nd and 3rd here for the Indians. Bunch fights that one off and on the hands, fouls it off, and will stay at 1-2. Well, the Indians in the top of the 1st inning, it was a RBI ground out that actually turned into a Little Caesars double play for the Bulldogs, as Sedale plated Kyle Krieger, who walked to start the contest, and Justin Medlin floated a home run out of here out to right center. As Bunch looks at that pitch, missing low, 2-2 now is the count. So that was your 2 runs in the top of the 1st. Gulf Coast started the inning off with a walk, then the runner got caught trying to steal. Miller Hancock doubled as he hopped one to the fence out in right center, and then a pop-up in to the first baseman and center fielder ended the threat. Bunch checked his swing, and they do apply the tag, and he said he did not go, so now the count goes full, 3-2. They do appeal down to second. He says he did not go either. And so 3-2 now is the count. that pitch missing high, and now the bases be full of Indians. As Bunch did a good job at that at bat, fell behind the count, was able to foul off a pitch or two, and won the battle by drawing the walk. And now we go back to the top of the lineup in Kyle Krieger. So Krieger, who walked and scored a run in his first at bat, will come to the dish here. He's batting .301 coming into this series, a .398 on base percentage and a .466 slugging percentage. But before we get to Krieger, we're going to have a meeting on the mound. We'll take a timeout and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
The newly formed Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi wants to make sure you are receiving the best orthopedic care possible. Our staff of 7 experienced, board-certified surgeons specialize in a specific area of the body and can treat you with the newest and latest technology available to fast-track your road to recovery. Call us for same-day appointments at 662-377-BONE and come see us at Gloucester Creek Village in Tupelo. At the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our specialty is you.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as the meeting on the mound here is about to be broke up by the home plate umpire. No change made in this situation, so you got to figure that they were just wanting to try to go over the situation, calm down Dawson a little bit, and kind of go about how they want to attack Krieger in this bases loaded, one-out situation here for the Indians. They lead it 2-0 here in the top of the second, trying to find a way to tack on a few more runs. Krieger swings on the first pitch he sees, fouls it back for strike one. Well, as we were talking about, Krieger, a .301 batting average, .398 on the on-base percentage, and a .466 slugging percentage. He does have 34 RBIs in that leadoff position. Would like to see him tack on a few more here. Krieger rips one, and it's going to be to the shortstop. The only play is going to be to third, and is it in time? Yes, it is, and it does score the run, though. So a nice play that time to get the lead runner as the hit pulled him towards third base. It was a little bit of a high throw and a bang-bang play. Could have gotten an argument a little bit out of ICC, but did not. So Austin Powell did score. Lane Domino was erased. And now this is going to be Jackson Lancaster at the plate. As that pitch missing low for a ball. 3-0 now is your score after that RBI on the fielder's choice for Kyle Krieger. That plated Austin Powell, who singled, advanced to second on a throwing error. And so now with 2 outs in the innings and runners at first and second, Lancaster to plate, sends this one high into the afternoon here in Perkison. The center fielder will jog up and squeeze it for the out to end the inning. Good job by the Bulldogs to get out of that bases loaded jam with minimum damage done. ICC was able to plate 1 run on 2 hits and 1 error with 2 left on the bags. We'll move to the bottom of the second inning. ICC leads it 3-0. Let's take a break and hear a few words from our sponsors and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
With the Little Caesars mobile app, you can customize an extra most bestest pizza with the most cheese, and now with the most of any toppings for the nation's best price. It's the crowning pizza achievement. And it's true what they say, it's lonely at the top. Unless you have an extra most bestest pizza, then it's a party at the top!
Little Caesars Extra Most Bestest Pizzas, the world's easiest way to outrageous amounts of toppings, starting at $6. Pizza.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
And welcome back to action, ladies and gentlemen, as we move now to the home half of the second inning. It'll be the 5, 6, 7 batters due up here for the Bulldogs. Davis, O'Shea, and Enlow. So this will be Alden Davis coming to the plate here for the Bulldogs. Let's take a look at some Sonic stats on Davis. He's batting .315 on the year. He's got a .405 on base percentage and a .541 slugging percentage. Those stats being brought to you by the Sonic in Fulton, a proud sponsor of ICC Athletics here on Let'sGoICCTV.com. Apparently, Don't know why, but the radio station does not have us up right now. Hopefully they do by now. I've tried to put in a few phone calls and haven't got anything back during commercial breaks. Is that first pitch in there to a strike for Davis, the third baseman? This is Houston Harding still on the hill here for the Indians. He surrendered a double as there's a hard hit and line drive out to left field, and a nice job that time by Davis waiting back on the breaking pitch and just ripped it out through the gap out to left field for a leadoff single, second hit of the game here for the Bulldogs. And now this will bring up the first baseman, Cullen O'Shea. O'Shea batting 279 on the year. He's got a .402 on base percentage and a .515 slugging percentage. So a runner at first. Well, the Bulldogs, they got a runner on to start the bottom half of the first with a walk, and then he was caught trying to steal as that pitch drifts high for a ball. 1-0 is the count. So that erased the runner, and that was a big out for the Indians, because if they don't get Williams trying to steal, if he reaches safely, he scores easy on a deep double by Miller Hancock. Instead, Hancock is left stranded at second after a pop-up to first and a fly out to center field. That pitch missing low and outside for a ball. Blocked up nicely that time by Austin Powell. Well, as we talked about it, this is the regular season finale here for the Indians, and they're going to have quite a while off. They will not play again until the 15th of May, and that's when we host the Region 23 tournament. So you figure the Indians will have a lot of inner squads just trying to keep active and stay in that rhythm and routine, as there's a big-time swing and a miss by Cullen O'Shea. He was looking to tie this contest with one swing of the bat. And here's the thing. It's kind of like Crescent Field. If you can get something up in the air this afternoon out to right field, we've already seen it with Justin Medlin, the ball will find its way out of the ballpark in a hurry. 2-1 now is the count here to O'Shea. Rips one, and it's going to get through again. Nice at bat that time by O'Shea, nearly hitting Davis, who was able to hop the ball that time. So back-to-back singles to start the Indians, and now the Bulldogs got something brewing here in the bottom of the second. As always, game one scheduled for 9 innings here in conference play. Game two, 7 innings. Of course, we've got a long way to go till we get there. We do appreciate everyone tuning in here on Let'sGoICCTV.com, the Red Channel. Invite you to come back with us on Sunday as we're at Summit, Mississippi, as the softball team will finish up their regular season at Southwest. That First American National Bank opening pitch will come your way at 2 o'clock. So runner at first and second, and a nice off-speed pitch, as that is Matt Enlow, the catcher, who was jammed up on that one. Couldn't quite find a piece of it, as that goes for swinging strike one. So the Indians in a little bit of a jam. The Bulldogs trying to spark a rally here as they look the runner back to second. No throw, as the bag was not being covered that time. No outs. Runners at first and second. Tying run now is at the plate for the Bulldogs. And this one's going to jam him, and that one just dies quick enough that Medlin couldn't get to it, as he caught that one in on the hands, found a piece of it, fought it off, and 0-2 now is the count here to Enlow. So they're going to check out the baseball there, and umpire's going to give it back. We're going to try to find you some scores throughout the league. Brother Chris messaged me earlier, and he'll probably send us some throughout the day. Of course, there's a lot of interesting games going on, as we'll take a look at some of the standings throughout the league as we progress throughout the afternoon here. 3-0 is your score. 0-2 now is the count here to Matt Enlow, the catcher. Runners at first and second with no outs here for the Bulldogs in the bottom of the second. Hootie gets set to deliver. Fastball, blistered. Center fielder Jackson Lancaster's going to have to hurry. He comes up and makes the play. Nicely done that time by Jackson Lancaster. That one hung up just enough for Lancaster, who's got that SEC speed out there in center field, to chase that one down. It wasn't deep enough to allow the runners to tag up and advance. So with one out now, this is going to be the second baseman, Fisher Ray. Well, this is when I officially feel old, folks. I remember Fisher back when his dad was at Bruce High School as the football coach. He was one of the sophomores, one of the 16 sophomores honored this afternoon before the game here on Sophomore Day. So we do want to say congratulations and best of luck in the future for all 16 of those Bulldogs. And whatever they do, whether it be continuing their baseball career, going on into the workforce, or just becoming students, as there's a swing and a miss on a curveball for strike one. Of course, we celebrated Sophomore Day the last time we were here with the Indians, and that was an extra special Sophomore Day for those sophomores as they won the 2019 Conference Championship with a sweep of Delta. 0-1 is the count here to Ray. Runners at first and second. This pitch foul back and out of play, and now 0-2 is the count. It's Pearl River over Northwest, 4-2 after 2. Hines and Northeast, they're scoreless after 2 innings of play there. So that foul ball makes it a 0-2 count now. Harding looking for his first Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day. Now would be an opportune time to find it with 1 out and runners at first and second. Pitch coming. And that one just missing outside the initial move by the home plate umpire. I thought he was going to give Hootie the corner, and if he did, wow. But good call that time as that one missed outside. Not a bad pitch to miss on that time either by Harding. As now the count goes 1-2. Ray showing a good eye that time, holding off on that pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Runners at first and second here for the Bulldogs. Fastball missing low. Ball gets away, and the runners will advance. So the runners will advance on the pass ball, and now a hit could be huge here for the Bulldogs. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and no outs. Runners now at second and third. Well, you were curious to see how the Indians would play in this game today. Obviously already clinching the conference championship. Didn't know if that fire would still be there or what. And this one is going to be a flare, and this one to go for a base hit. This is going to score 2. Should go for extra bases for Ray. Nice at bat for Ray. The throw is in, and they're going to say he's safe. As he did the swim move on the slide into second, the throw was there in plenty of time. Just a great job by Ray avoiding the tag, and that's a 2-run double. Even if the runners had not advanced on the pass ball, they probably both would have scored there. And a big-time clutch hit there off the bat of the sophomore Fisher Ray. And so now with 1 out in the inning, this is going to be Nick Sims, the DH, coming to the plate with a tying run at second. 3-2 now is your score. As that pitch missing 1-0 is the count. So 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. Runner at second. Is that pitch in there for a strike? Kind of had to wait for a second to see what he was going to call that one. So this is Nick Sims at the plate. .310 batting average, .375 on base percentage, a .345 slugging percentage here for Sims. 1-1 pitch coming from Harding. This one lifted, trouble. Sedale's going to go back, and he will get to it, and a nice job out there by LeBryant Sedale. He's got pretty good speed out there for a left fielder. That one hung up just enough for him to be able to get out to it for out number 2. So now with 2 outs, this will bring up Ike Williams, who walked and was caught trying to steal and to start the bottom of the first. Williams stands in and takes that one inside for a strike. Didn't necessarily like that one, and some of the boo birds coming out here for some of the Gulf Coast faithful. Thought that one was a little bit inside. But the umpire gave it to Harding, who's been trying to work that inside corner of the plate. And got the call that time. Sun starting to peek out once again amongst the clouds. Grounder, second baseman Krieger is going to get it. Throw over is in time for the out. 4-3 for those of you that are scoring at home. So the Bulldogs do get 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. It was a 2-run double by Fisher Ray. That makes it a 3-2 contest here after 2 complete in Perkinston. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
Your success at ICC starts with freshman orientation. Learn what the college has to offer, register for classes, meet your new ICC family, and discover all the ways to get involved across our 3 locations.
Hey guys, it's Madison, an orientation leader here at ICC. After you apply for enrollment, sign up for orientation because spots are filling up fast. Find out more at iccms.edu/orientation.
Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
And welcome back to action, ladies and gentlemen, as we move now to the top of the 3rd inning for ICC. It'll be the 3-4-5 batters due up. LeBryant Sedale, Justin Medlin, and Brett Coker. Sedale in his first at bat grounded into a Little Caesars double play that did push across a run in Kyle Krieger. And then Justin Medlin had that solo home run. That was the 2 runs in the top of the first. So Sedale will start us off here. Swings on the first pitch he sees. This is going to be a flare out to the right side. Right fielder going back, and we'll watch this one leave the park. Well, LB, how do you do? Just got that one out to the right side and was able to sneak it out of the ballpark. Go back and look at that one on the Little Caesars instant replay. Second home run of the day for the Indians. And ICC, that's a bat they would love to see get fired up moving into postseason. He got hot last year in that Colin series. That's his 3rd home run of the day, or excuse me, of the year. And they would love to see him get fired up once again heading into postseason play that pushed the Indians all the way down to the Region 23 tournament. And now this is going to bring up Justin Medlin as that pitch across for a strike. Medlin in his first at bat, he also had a solo home run. As he just lifted one, the wind carried it and it snuck out of the ballpark. As that pitch missing low, 1-1 now is the count. Do got a little action brewing in the bullpen here for the Bulldogs. So you see the sun coming out once again here on Let'sGoICCTV.com. As that pitch missing low. And now the count goes 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, and no outs after that solo home run by LeBryant Sedale out to right field. Started it off here in the inning. 4-2 now is your score. Medlin at the plate awaiting the pitch. Pops this one up, back and out of play. That'll go for a strike. 2-2 now is the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. We're in the top of the 3rd. ICC with a 4-2 lead here at Gulf Coast. Regular season finale here for ICC. And they'll be off for a while before they play in that Region 23 tournament as this pitch popped up left side. And it's going to stay in play, as the 3rd baseman. There's a lot of room to run over there on that side of the field, and the 3rd baseman just went over and made the play as the ball hung up long enough for him to get there for out number 1. Kind of got out of my point of view there, and I assumed it was kind of like our ballpark, but instead it's not. It's got a lot more room over there as the ball got popped up high in the air. So now this will be Brett Coker at the plate. Brett grounded out to the shortstop to end the 1st inning in his first attempt of the day. Trying to redeem himself here. 1 out as that first pitch missing for a ball. Big healthy swing there from Coker. Couldn't find it. And 1-1 now is the count. Austin Powell is on deck for the Indians. Coker at the plate. Swings on this one, fouls it back into your living room. 1-2 now is the count. Coker batting .374 coming into this series. He's got a .456 on base percentage and .429 is his slugging percentage. Those stats being brought to you by the Sonic of Fulton. Awaiting this 1-2 pitch here to Coker. And Coker fouls this one back to keep the at-bat alive here. Might have swung at ball 2 that time, but a good job of finding a piece of it, fouling it off. And now the count goes 1-2. There is one out here in the inning. And that was after Medlin popped up in foul territory. As Coker reaches out, finds this one, fouls it off into himself, and the count will stay at 1-2. Nice at bat going right here by Brett Coker, the shortstop, trying to find a way to win the battle. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Indians got a solo home run by LeBryant Siddell to start the inning. They lead it now 4-2 after Gulf Coast put 2 runs on the board in the bottom of the second. That pitch going high gets away from the catcher. Nobody on base to even worry about there. But it does give you a pretty good idea as the ball got away. It tipped off his glove. Still bounced back pretty well off that backstop here at Gulf Coast. So before you just automatically take off if the ball gets away, you got to kind of keep an eye on it. As this pitch swung on, tipped, but held on to that time by the catcher, so that will go for a Renaissance Bank strikeout, the first of the day for Dawson Hall. And now there's 2 outs, and this is going to bring Austin Powell to the plate. Powell singled, advanced to second on an error, and eventually came around to score whenever Kyle Krieger reached on a fielder's choice. That was in the second. So he's going to try to spark a 2-out rally here for the Indians. Breaking pitch, it's a beauty, but just up a little too high apparently, as that was a good-looking pitch, called a ball. 1-0 is the count. There is 2 outs here. We're in the top of the third. ICC with a 4-2 lead. Fastball. Maybe a makeup call that time, as that one looked a little low. Either way it goes, 1-1 should be the count, and that's what it is. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs. Nobody on as the sun is shining bright here in Perkinston. And a big, healthy swing there from Austin Powell. Couldn't find it. 1-2 now is the count. Holmes leading Southwest 5-1. That's after 5 in game 1. As that pitch going high for a ball. 2-2 now. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. ICC trying to see if they can extend the inning here with a 2-out base hit. Powell blisters one, and this is going to go to the gap. And the left fielder was able to get over there in a hurry to cut that one off, and that will go for Austin Powell's second hit of the day. So you can find his name in the box score in tomorrow's Daily Journal. Go back and look at that one on the Little Caesars instant replay. Just waited on it, delivered it, and put it out there to the gap for his second hit of the day. So now this will be Jacob Hall at the plate. Jacob flew out to left field for the first out of the second inning. Rips one, and it's stopped nicely over there at third base. Plenty of time. Will throw over for the out. Good job over there at third base, and accidentally played the replay back instead of the actual play itself, as 5-3 on the putout of Hall will end the inning. So the Indians get 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We move to the bottom half of the third, but before we do that, we're going to take a break and hear a few words from our sponsors and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
The longer a person has diabetes, the more likely they are to develop diabetic retinopathy. If left untreated, diabetic retinopathy can lead to blindness. That's why it's important for diabetics to have a comprehensive eye examination with dilation once a year. I'm Dr. Laurie Cagle of Cagle Eye Center in Fulton. We offer comprehensive eye exams to provide diagnosis and treatment of various eye diseases. Browse our large selection of frames available in prescription and non-prescription. Call to schedule your appointment today at Cagle Eye Center in Fulton.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 4-2 is your score as we move now here to the bottom of the third inning. Let's take a look at some Renaissance Bank scoreboard updates, and we'll give you all of them. Brother Chris, the director at the ICC BSU, texting these in. Pearl River, this was back in the second inning. Pearl River over Northwest 4-2. Hines and Northeast were scoreless after 2 innings. Holmes was leading Southwest 5-1 after 5 in game 1. Meridian and Colin, they're scheduled to start in about 15-20 minutes. Meridian and I believe Gulf Coast, yeah, they're both tied at 16-10, so that'll be a game of interest here for the Bulldogs this afternoon. And then East at Jones, that game got moved to 4 o'clock due to graduations at Jones. And now after 3 complete, Pearl River over Northwest 4-2. That's in game 1. So that pitch fouled for a strike. 0-1 is the count. As Houston Harding going to walk off for a second and give Bunch a chance to kind of collect himself after trying to make that play. Remind you can see highlights from today's game on our YouTube channel by searching Let's Go ICC on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe while you're there, as that pitch in there for a strike. 0-2 now is the count here, as this is Miller Hancock, who doubled but was left stranded back in the first inning. So 0-2 is the count here to Hancock. Pitch coming. That one missing high for a ball. We talked about how it bounced off the backstop. Well, that one got in the netting and it died off the net. So again, if you're on base, you got to kind of pay attention to where the ball hits, because it can bounce back pretty hard, or it can just sit back there as well if it hits the net. So 1-2 now is the count. That pitch missing high and outside. 2-2. Not a bad spot to miss by Harding, trying to see if you couldn't get him to chase one up and out of the zone. Did not, so a good eye on the part of Miller Hancock. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and no outs. And that pitch just inside. Hootie thought he had him for strike 3. Has got that call earlier, just a little too much inside, as now the count goes full at 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and no outs, as Hancock trying to find a way to win the battle here against Harding. Harding looking for his first Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day, and he gets it. Big time Renaissance Bank strikeout there from Houston Harding. That is the first Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day for the Mississippi State signee, and a matter of fact, the first time that the Bulldogs have not been able to get the leadoff runner on base. This pitch high for a ball, as this is D. Hawthorne at the plate. He popped up. The ball originally was in foul territory, carried back into fair territory, but Justin Medlin was able to make the play. As a big swing and a miss there, evens up the count now at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out here as Hawthorne is at the plate. Harding getting ready to deliver. And that one, you kind of heard Hootie grunt a little bit, trying to put a little extra on the fastball there. It drifts high. 2-1 now is the count. Swung on and miss. 2-2 now is the count here to Hawthorne. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Big swing and a miss there. And that's going to go back-to-back Renaissance Bank strikeouts. And Hootie's trying to settle down a little bit, starting to find his groove. And Renaissance Bank, understanding you, renaissancebank.com. Member FDIC, the best bank in the South. Renaissance Bank, a proud sponsor of ICC Athletics here on the ICC Sports Network. And so now with 2 outs, this is going to bring up Brandon Parker to the plate. Parker flew out deep to center field, was retired by Jackson Lancaster. Takes that first pitch inside for a ball. 1-0 is the count. Clouds starting to move back into the area. Not really anticipating any rain. Just going to be a partly cloudy day throughout the afternoon. Off-speed pitch up high for a ball. 2-0 now is the count. Rain is more so for tomorrow. Talking to a few people back home, I think it was raining back up north last night or maybe today. I'm not for sure. To be honest with you, the day has been kind of a blur, or the last 24 hours, I should say, has been kind of a blur. Is that pitch in there for a strike? 2-1 now is the count. We had the sophomore day at ICC for softball as the Indians split with Meridian after winning the first game 10-0 in 5 innings, dropped the second game 2-0. As that pitch outside, nearly thought about pulling the trigger on it, but a good eye on the part of Brandon Parker. So once that was over, broke down and basically hit the road. Went 6:45 leaving the ballpark, had to go home, pick up a few things. It was about 7:15 as a big swing and a miss there. 3-2 now is the count. So officially I would say I got on the road from Tupelo right around that 7:30, 7:45 mark after getting a bite to eat at a restaurant that's not a sponsor of ICC, as this pitch is popped up. Second baseman Kyle Krieger is going to call everyone off, comes jogging into the infield and squeezes it for the out. So a major league pop-up that time reeled in by Kyle Krieger. We'll continue on that thought now as we get a 3-up, 3-down inning. No runs, no hits, no errors there in the third. But to continue on that thought and kind of just catch you up on everything here so far through 3 innings of play, ICC leads it 4-2. Roll out of Tupelo, as I said, getting a supper at the restaurant that's not a sponsor. So it's a restaurant that serves chicken sandwiches that aren't open on Sundays, if that tells you where I ate. And then made the trip down here, got to Wiggins last night just a little bit before midnight. Called it a day, and then my phone started ringing and texts started coming in about 6 o'clock. So woke up a few hours later, and here we are now at the ballpark. Let's go over some Sonic scoring here in the contest. ICC got 2 runs in the top of the first. It was a ground out, or Little Caesars double play turn by the Bulldogs that Kyle Krieger scored on that LeBryant Siddell hit into. And then right behind that was a solo home run by Justin Medlin. 2-0 was your score after the top of the first. The Bulldogs, they put a runner on, then got the runner caught stealing. A double by Miller Hancock, and he was left stranded in scoring position. 2-0 ICC after 1 complete. The Indians, they got a RBI on it when Kyle Krieger hit into a fielder's choice that scored Austin Powell, who singled and advanced on an error. It was 3-0 ICC. The Bulldogs, they got a 2-run double by Fisher Ray to score Davis and O'Shea. Both of those guys reached on a single and advanced on a pass ball. 3-2 Indians. And then ICC gets a solo home run from LeBryant Siddell to start the top of the third to make it 4-2 ICC. And then you just saw a 3-up, 3-down inning highlighted by a pair of Renaissance Bank strikeouts from Houston Harding. And that's where we're at now here as we move to the top of the fourth. Remind you once again, you can follow us on Twitter, as trying to keep that updated today, as this is going to be a bunt by Domino, and it's going to be a good one, and it's just going to dive for a fair ball, and Lane will start things off with a infield single, as that will be his second hit of the day. So now with a leadoff single, this is going to be Russell Bunch at the plate. Pickoff throw over to first is not in time. As that pitch going to miss low and outside for ball 1 here to Bunch. Bunch walked, and he was left stranded in scoring position. That was back in the second inning. As 1-0 is the count. Runner at first base, that's Lane Domino. That pitch paints the corner for a strike. 1-1 now is the count here to Russell Bunch. So you've got Domino, who stole a base but was erased on a fielder's choice back in the second inning at first base. Bunch rips one. This is going to get through the gap, and this will send Domino to second. And a nice at-bat that time by Russell Bunch to just go with the pitch and put it where they ain't, as they say, and put it out there in right field. And now the Indians get back-to-back singles to start the contest. And we go back to the top of the lineup here in Kyle Krieger. For the Indians, that's their 8th hit of the contest. Gulf Coast has 4. So ICC is going to try to find a way to see if they can scratch back that other run they gave up in the bottom of the second. They lead it 4-2 now. We're in the top of the fourth. This game scheduled for 9 innings here on the ICC Sports Network. This is Kyle Krieger. He had reached on a fielder's choice and walked and scored a run. That was back in the first inning. Shows bunt, pulls back, and takes it for a strike. Nice pitch on the fastball inside part of the plate there from Dawson Hall. As we mentioned, there has been some action in the bullpen for Gulf Coast. It's been going for about an inning now, but Hall's done pretty good. He's given up 2 home runs. As Krieger chases one low that time. 0-2 now is the count. And that's really the difference in the game. The solo home run by Justin Medlin in the first inning, and then the solo home run by LeBryant Sedale to start the third inning. 4-2 is your score. Runners on first and second here for the Indians. There are no outs. As we're in the top of the fourth, Kyle Krieger at the plate. Krieger looks at that pitch outside for a ball. Well, sometimes you just got to wait and see what the home plate umpire is going to call, because he has a delayed motion, but he also points where the pitch is. So if it's inside, outside, he puts a quick hand out, and sometimes he does that but follows through with a strike call as well. So on some of those borderline pitches, you have to wait and see what he's going to say there. 1-2 now is the count. Krieger fouls this one back and out of play, and 1-2 will stay the count here on Kyle. Again, we appreciate everyone that's tuning in here on Let'sGoICCTV.com. So 1-2 is the count here to Krieger. Going to look the runner back to second. No throw as nobody was covering the bag, so we'll reset here. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs. Runners at first and second here for the Indians. Kyle Krieger, leadoff batter at the plate. 0 for 1 on the day, but did reach on a fielder's choice. He also walked and scored a run. Krieger looks at that pitch, and a borderline pitch missing low. 2-2 now is the count. Hey, if you're watching or listening, you can put it on in the background. Hit us up on Twitter at Let'sGoICC. Let us know that you're tuned in. We've already heard from the Mineys today. Would love to hear some more of the ICC family that has tuned in this afternoon. Not a short drive whatsoever to get down here, and on a Friday, I know it's tough for some people to break away from work, especially with the playoffs just around the corner. Krieger rips one, and this is going to go for a base hit. This is going to score Domino. Domino will round third. The throw will not be close, and a big-time clutch hit there off the bat of Kyle Krieger as he gets another RBI. 3 straight hits here for the Indians to start the inning. And ICC now gets back those 2 runs they gave up in the bottom of the second as Domino cruises from second to home. And that might do it here for Dawson Hall. Let's take a break and come back with more right here on the ICC Sports Network. The Indians up 5-2 with no outs in the top of the fourth.
Man, these Red Bull slushes are invigorating, right?
I know it, man. I'm feeling confident, feeling pumped. I want to jump this thing.
I don't know if that's such a good idea, TJ.
No, man, I need help. Can we jump this thing?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Rush in for Sonic's new Red Bull slushes. Half price during happy hour.
Bacon, Swiss cheese, juicy chicken on a King's Hawaiian bun.
Oh, what else is it saying?
It's saying you still owe me that $30.
Hang up!
Hurry into Sonic for the King's Hawaiian Chicken or Burger Club and try order ahead to get happy hour anytime.
Ever since you got that license, you haven't stopped moving forward. Now that you're older and on the move, you need a safer place to keep your money. We get it. A student checking account frees you up with things like mobile check deposit to take care of that check from grandma without having to stop at a bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And stop worrying about ATM fees. We'll pay you back for those. Worry about your future, not your money. And know that we'll stick with you, wherever you go. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 5-2 ICC with the lead. New pitcher in the contest here, Darby Gilbert. He's a freshman right-handed pitcher. He is 0 for 1 on the year. He's pitched 15 1/3 innings, given up 10 hits, 11 runs, 8 of those earned. He's walked 16, has struck out 24, and has a 4.70 ERA. So Darby Gilbert will be the new pitcher in this situation. He's going to enter in a tough situation as the Indians have started off this inning with 3 straight singles. A single by Lane Domino, a single by Russell Bunch, and an RBI single by Kyle Krieger to score Lane Domino. And the Indians will have runners on first and second with no outs here in the top of the 4th inning. Coach Sean Cannon and the rest of the football guys checking in at the field house, saying that sounding looking good here on Let'sGoICCTV.com from the field house. So we do appreciate all the love and support there from the ICC family. As this is going to be Jackson Lancaster at the plate. Stands in, takes that first pitch, missing low for a ball. Lancaster is 1 for 2 on the day. He had a single and flew out to center field. Runners at first and second, no outs. Shows bunt, that pitch going high for a ball. 2-0 now is the count here to Lancaster. Lancaster with a couple of put out so far defensively. He had a nice play out there on the warning track that carried him into the fence that he was able to hold on to earlier in the contest. Shows bunt, pops it back for a foul. 2-1 now goes the count. So again, we're going to be keeping an eye on some of the score updates, and the Meridian Colin game is going to be a game of interest for Gulf Coast. That pitch should be starting here shortly for game 1. 2-1 is the count here on Lancaster. 5-2 is the score. Lancaster fouls this one back and out of play over the top of us here in the ICC Alumni Affairs and Foundation broadcast booth. Find out how you can help contribute to the Itawamba Community College. Also, join the Indian Club by visiting iccms.edu. That's iccms.edu. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and no outs. Runners at first and second here. Jackson Lancaster at the plate. Lancaster looks at that one for strike 3. A beautiful fastball at the knees gets Lancaster looking. He's retired for the second time today, and that's going to be the first Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day for Darby Gilbert. And now this is going to bring up LeBryant Siddell. He had a solo home run to start the 3rd inning, grounded into a Little Caesars double play in his first at-bat that did allow a run to come home to score in that 1st inning. And it turned out to be a big-time Little Caesars double play as Justin Medlin, who is on deck, had that solo home run behind that double play. So with 1 out, runners at first and second, this is Siddell. Siddell takes that one for a strike. Again, a little bit delay on the call, but you did see him nod his head as that pitch finds the inside part of the plate. I do agree. It was a good-looking pitch that time. 0-1 now is the count here to LeBryant Siddell. Siddell, grounder. And they're going to try to turn 2 here. Then they're able to get 1. The throw pulled him off the bag, so that will be a fielder's choice. And that goes 5-4 as Krieger is erased. Russell Bunch does go to 3rd. Was really surprised that he didn't think about trying to sprint over and at least tag 3rd base, as that was a force over at 3rd. But instead now runners on the corners here for the Indians. Well, I saw it about to happen, and I tried to get to it before it did. The camera was about to fall, and so we're having to set up uniquely here. As we do appreciate Don Hammock and the rest of the crew here at Gulf Coast for great hospitality as always, as that pitch missing outside for a ball here to Justin Medlin. Well, Justin hit a major league home run. It was one of those that just got up in the air, and the right fielder ran out of real estate as that pitch missing low for a ball. Indians have 2 home runs. It's kind of a short porch out there in right field, and the flag, however, is laying limp out there at center field, but it's just because it's surrounded by trees. Right now the wind not blowing like it was earlier. Medlin blasts one, and this has got a chance back, and the center fielder will go back and make a leaping catch for the out. Well, thought it might have a chance to find the gap, but a good job out there in center field by Ike Williams to find the extra gear and make the leaping catch to end the inning. But the Indians do get 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th inning. ICC with a 5-2 lead here over Gulf Coast in Game 1. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
My burger goes best with mustard.
Ketchup and mustard.
Grass-fed beef.
No, corn-fed.
On the grill. Now, flat top. Iceberg lettuce.
Nah, arugula. Jalapeno.
No way. Avocado, dude.
Medium rare. Gotta be well done.
Brioche.
Sesame seeds.
American cheese.
Cheddar.
Can I have a turkey burger? What? Turkeys are for Thanksgiving, man. I like my burger with the Coke.
I'll agree to that. Strictly with a Coke.
Only with the Coke.
Coke and a burger. Come on.
All right.
That's where you get the flavor.
And welcome back to action, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set to start the bottom of the fourth inning. ICC with a 5-2 lead here in game one of two. This will be Davis coming to the plate here for the Bulldogs to start off the inning. Gulf Coast, they've had some opportunities, just haven't been able to cash in on them. As Houston Harding, has been able to kind of settle down, but instead he's going to be greeted with a blistering shot that's going to be a double off the wall. And so a nice job that time by Davis, getting his second hit of the game and lighting the crowd up here at Gulf Coast as he just waited for the first pitch he saw and ripped it out there. LeBryant Sedale chased it but couldn't get to it. Now here's a note of interest. There is a tarp over the fence out here at Gulf Coast, and anything that hits the fence is not going to bounce off like you see at ICC, who has that wooden fence. The ball jumped into the fence and kind of just died once it hit the net mesh covering out there. So as an outfielder, you got to make a note of that going forward. So a leadoff double from Davis brings up O'Shea now, as O'Shea looks at that pitch high for a ball. So the Bulldogs trying to find a way to rally back in this one. They trail it 5-2 here, and we're in the bottom of the fourth inning. As O'Shea, who singled, and time is called by O'Shea. He advanced on a pass ball. So did Davis in their previous at-bats, and they both scored on a two-run double by Fisher Ray. So with no outs and a runner on second, Gulf Coast going to try to spark the bats here. ICC's got 9 hits, 5 for Gulf Coast. Gulf Coast does have an error in the contest. That was a throwing error that allowed Austin Powell to advance. The ball will hop across and get away, and that pitch allows the runner to advance on a wild pitch now. And so he will head over to third base, that being Alden Davis. Kind of a unique layout. You see it there in front of you with the close-up camera. It is a turf batter's box and area around it, and you kind of heard when the ball hit, it almost sounded like it hit a hollow spot and just hopped over the head of Austin Powell and allow the runner to advance to third. So a base hit here would be big for the Bulldogs. That pitch just missing outside for a ball. Houston Harding kind of laughing that one off there, and got to be careful if a pitcher kind of laughing off some of those pitches that you thought were strikes. That's not going to help your cause any. 3-0 pitch coming. And that one, there's a makeup call. As that one easily high out of the zone that time. 3-1 now is the count. Harding's pitch coming. Fastball grounder is going to be a foul ball. And now the count should go full at 3-2. So 3 balls, 2 strikes here. Harding's done a good job of battling back. Got that foul ball to force the count to go full. See if he can find his third Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day here for Harding. O'Shea trying to find a way to win the battle here. 3-2 pitch coming. Rips one, and it's going to be past the diving second baseman, and that's going to go for a base hit. Good at bat that time by Cullen O'Shea, his second hit of the day. Nearly a great defensive play on the part of Kyle Krieger who tried to make the diving effort, couldn't come up with it. And so that will go for a RBI single. That makes it a 5-3 contest now here in the bottom of the fourth inning. And now this is going to bring up the catcher, Matt Enlow. Enlow will dig in with a runner at first base and no outs. He flew out deep to center field in his first at bat. The sun blistering now as a swing and a miss from Enlow on a low off-speed pitch. So a double by Davis started the inning. He advanced over to third on a wild pitch, and then a RBI single that got past a diving second baseman has made it a 5-3 contest here in the bottom of the fourth. There's still no outs and a runner over at first base here for the Bulldogs. Ball in the dirt. Missing 1-1 now is the count here to Enlow. Take a look at some Sonic stats on Enlow this season. Batting .246. He's got a .361 on base percentage. .319 is his slugging percentage. 1 ball, 1 strike, and no outs. Runner over at first base. Harding set to deliver. Ground ball. This is going to be a foul ball, and 1-2 now goes the count. Give you some Renaissance Bank scoreboard updates here. Pearl River leads Northwest 7-3 after 4 innings. Meridian and Colin tied 2-2 after 1. And Hines leading Northeast 2-1. That's also after 4 innings, all those being game 1 contests there. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and a runner at first. There's no outs. Harding, can he find his third Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day? We'll find out here, waiting this 1-2 pitch. There's going to be a grounder, and it's going to be caught, and the throw over to first is in time. How about a Little Caesars double play started by Kyle Krieger, as Krieger made a great catch. Throw over to first was in time. And so the Little Caesars double play, there's 2 outs now, and Fisher Ray will come to the plate. Clutch play there by Kyle Krieger. As now with 2 outs in the inning. Ground ball. This one's to Krieger again. Plenty of time. Throw over and gets the out. Good job that time. 4-3 on the putout. Thanks to the Little Caesars double play, the Indians get out of the inning with minimum damage done. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We've played 4 here in game 1. ICC leads it 5-3. We come back, it'll be Brett Coker, Austin Powell, and Jacob Hall all due up for the Indians. ICC trying to get a couple of those runs back here in the top of the 5th. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
With the Little Caesars mobile app, you can customize an extra most bestest pizza with the most cheese, and now with the most of any toppings for the nation's best price. It's the crowning pizza achievement. And it's true what they say, it's lonely at the top. Unless you have an extra most bestest pizza, then it's a party at the top!
Little Caesars Extra Most Bestest Pizzas, the world's easiest way to outrageous amounts of toppings, starting at $6.
Pizza.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 5-3 is your score. As the Bulldogs were able to get a run back and almost turned into an anything you could do, I can do better contest so far. As this is going to be Brett Coker who fouls off that first pitch for a strike. So Coker is at the plate with a 0-1 count here. He is 0 for 2 on the day. He has struck out looks at that pitch, missing low and outside for a ball. Ball bounced back up to him, simply grabbed it and tossed it back to the catcher, said, here you go. Let's try that again. Coker playing shortstop today. Austin Powell's on deck. He's 2 for 2 on the day with a run scored and a pair of singles. So Coker swings on the first pitch he sees. This is going to be a flare out to the right fielder. Right fielder back just a step in front of the warning track and will squeeze it for the out. So F9 on the put out there of Coker, 0 for 3 on the day. And now this will bring up Austin Powell. Powell singled, advanced to second on a throwing error on a pickoff move, and eventually came around to score whenever Krieger reached on a fielder's choice. He also singled but was left stranded with 2 outs in the inning. That was back in the third. 5-3 is your score, top of the 5th inning. Big swing and a miss there as Austin Powell looking to do some damage with that pitch. Couldn't quite time it up there. Powell recently committed to Ole Miss. 3 players from this ICC squad is heading to the SEC next year. You got one going to La Tech, a couple of them going to Mississippi College, as well as another fastball that Powell couldn't quite catch up with. 0-2 now is the count. So 0-2 is the count. 1 out, nobody on. We're in the top of the 5th inning. And that one fouled back but held on to, and Powell that time just saw straight heat, couldn't do anything with it. And that's going to be the second Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game for Darby Gilbert. And so now with 2 outs, this is going to bring up Jacob Hall. Jacob is 0 for 2 on the day, grounded out to third to end the third. He flew out to left for the first out of the 2nd inning. So he's going to try to spark a little 2-out rally here for the Indians in the top of the 5th. That pitch missing low and outside for a ball. Well, so far in the contest, the Indians have put at least 1 run on the board through the first 4 innings. They lead at 5-3. Gulf Coast going to try to get the first 3-up, 3-down inning of ICC so far here in Game 1. 1-0 is the count here to Hall. Hall fouls this one back, evens the count up now at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs. That pitch, fastball, just putting a little too much on it that time. Couldn't get Hall to chase one low in the zone, as that one goes for a ball. 2-1 now is the count here with 2 outs. If Hall were to reach, it'll be Lane Domino, who's 2 for 2 on the day, up next. Big healthy swing there, and again just could not catch up with the fastball as Darby Gilbert has settled down quickly in this contest. Did a good job of coming in with the Indians. Having runners in scoring position, was got a strikeout, a fielder's choice, and a flyout as that pitch missing low and outside for a ball. 3-2 now is the count here to Hall. Got a fly ball out to right field off the bat of Brett Coker that was near the warning track, and then a strikeout of Austin Powell, trying to see if he can find another Renaissance Bank strikeout here to end the inning and get the Indians to go 3-up, 3-down here in the top of the 5th. 5-3 is your score. This is Hall at the plate, and he will draw the walk. So a nice at bat that time by Jacob Hall to find a way to win the battle and extend this inning here. Hearing that the Gulf Coast softball team won 10-0 in 5 innings over Coahoma. That's sophomore day going on there in softball as well. And Don and the rest of the crew, they've got their hands full today. Had a pair of sophomore days. We saw that at the beginning of the game today, and that pitch missing for a ball as it gets away to Lane Domino, blocked up nicely by Matt Enlow to keep the runner over at first. But we do want to say congratulations to also the softball Bulldogs and say best of luck as they venture forward in the future as well. So there's 2 outs and a runner over at first base. Lane Domino at the plate. Domino takes a healthy chop there, couldn't come up with anything. 1-1 now is the count. Ashley Harding is checking in with us. Thanks for the kind words on Twitter, Ashley, as we do appreciate you as well checking in. And Houston doing a pretty good job for you so far. Snap throw over to first. The runner was not taking a major league that time, was able to dive back safely, was Hall. Tag was there, but not an issue. So 1-1 is the count. There is 2 outs here to Lane Domino at the plate, trying to extend the inning here. It was a 2-out walk to Hall. Domino couldn't catch up with that fastball, and he misses. 1-2 now is the count. Well, Darby Gilbert bringing the heat, and it's working well as the Indians just can't quite time him up. We did see a fly ball by Brett Coker that didn't seem like it was hit hard, but carried about a step in front of the warning track out there in right field. The Indians have 2 home runs on the day, so Domino's going to have to protect the plate here with a 1-2 count. And he can't do it. Swing and a miss, and a big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout there of Domino, the 3rd of the game for Darby Gilbert, as he kind of just tips his hat and walks off. So the Indians get no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base there in the top of the 5th. First time today the Indians have not put a run on the board. We'll take a break and come back with the bottom half of the 5th inning. Lady Mo starting to shift over a little bit to the blue and gold for the Bulldogs. We'll find out what they do when we come back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
First American National Bank is a local bank. Our 10 locations are right here in Northeast Mississippi. Banking decisions are made locally by people who live here. It's been that way for more than 50 years. Our involvement in the community is important to us. That's where our roots are. Technology, it changes daily, but our community is what keeps us together. If you like high-tech banking, we've got that too. Follow the flag to First American National Bank, from Iuka to Tupelo.
Your success at ICC starts with freshman orientation. Learn what the college has to offer, register for classes, meet your new ICC family, and discover all the ways to get involved across our 3 locations.
Hey guys, it's Madison, an orientation leader here at ICC. After you apply for enrollment, sign up for orientation because spots are filling up fast. Find out more at iccms.edu/orientation.
Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
And welcome back now as we shift to the bottom of the 5th inning. For the Bulldogs, it'll be the 9-1-2 batters due up. Nick Sims, Ike Williams, and Miller Hancock all due up here for the Bulldogs. ICC did get a runner on in the top part of the inning when it was a 2-out walk issued to Jacob Hall, but the 3rd Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day by Darby Gilbert, who has just simply turned up the heat with his fastball, and the Indians hadn't quite figured him out so far in the contest. So this is Sims. He flew out to left in his first at-bat. Takes a look at that pitch, missing low for a ball. 1-0 is the count. Houston Harding still on the hill here for the Indians. As this pitch, a flare out towards the right side, will get out of play and even the count now at 1-1. Well, nice grandstands here, recently built at Gulf Coast, and seating in the shade is at a premium today. A few fans soaking in the sun as it fades in and out throughout the afternoon. 1 ball, 1 strike, and no outs. Nice little off-speed pitch that time. Had the batter fooled. 1-2 is the count now here on Nick Sims. Harding's got 2 Renaissance Bank strikeouts on the day. It'll be a prime time to pick up his 3rd here if he can find it. 1-2 pitch coming. Ground ball, however. Second baseman is going to have to come up and take an awkward hop. The throw is high, but a great stretch there by Justin Medlin, as Medlin had to stretch high to get that one, and Krieger going to show him some love after that, saying, hey, thanks for saving my butt on that one. I kind of hung you out to dry. As Just, pretty tall kid over there and pretty flexible as well. If I would have had to stretch like that, well, it would have been game over, folks, as you wouldn't have had to carry me off anywhere. You just would have just had to dig deep and just leave me at the field. As they're going to give Just a few moments to walk that off there as the first out of the inning, recorded 4-3. The Indians, that's the 3rd straight time that the Bulldog batter has grounded out to the second baseman, and go back to Enlow, who lined into that Little Caesars double play. As that pitch in there for a strike. Fisher Ray ended the inning with a ground ball to second, and then Nick Sims started the 5th with a ground ball to second as well. So 1 out, and nice off-speed pitch that time, and Hootie quickly ahead in the count now, 0-2. Hootie's doing pretty good so far, averaging just over double-digit pitches an inning, I would think. As that pitch high and outside for a ball, not a bad spot to miss that time. See if you couldn't get him to chase one, but a good eye on the part of Ike Williams. Ike Williams is 0 for 1 on the day. He did walk, but was erased trying to steal second. Grounded out to second in his last at-bat. That was to end the second. Keyword second. 0-2 is the count. Harding taking his time now, set to deliver. Pitch coming. This is going to be a flare, trouble, but it's going to drift foul. As Lane Domino, he's got good speed, but if he had that type of speed, he'd be running world-class track, as that one knifing away and safely falls to the turf out there in foul territory. So the count will stay 0-2 here to Ike Williams. Remind you, this game is scheduled for 9 innings, as we're in the bottom of the 5th now. Game 2 will be scheduled for 7. We'll have that coming your way yet again here on the ICC Sports Network. Harding ready to go. Domino hasn't even made it back to his spot in right field yet. Grounder, and it's going to find its way through a little wobbly sausage that ends up out there in right field. And a good little CNI single off the bat of Ike Williams, his first hit of the day. As it just snuck its way through, and a clutch hit there with 1 out in the inning now, as that goes for the 7th hit of the day for the Bulldogs. First hit of the afternoon for Ike Williams, and now this is Miller Hancock coming up. He doubled, was left stranded in the first, struck out swinging for the first Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day for Houston Harding. Renaissance Bank, understanding you, renaissancebank.com, member FDIC. So a runner at first with 1 out. Nice looping curveball in there for a strike, as Hancock just froze on that one. 0-1 is the count. Well, Hootie's doing a pretty good job of getting ahead of the batters, but Gulf Coast has done a good job over the last couple of innings. Kind of roughed him up there in the second for 2 runs on a 2-run double by Fisher Ray, and then had that RBI single after Davis doubled from Cullen O'Shea. Snap throw over to first is not in time. No tag is applied. 0-1 is the count. You can kind of feel a breeze coming into the press box. The ICC Alumni Affairs and Foundation broadcast booth, if you will. Visit iccms.edu on how you can help contribute to Itawamba Community College, as that pitch goes high. For a ball, 1-1 now is the count. Well, we will have all the Region 23 action coming your way. That will probably more than likely be on the Blue Channel in 2 weeks. So that means after today, ICC will not play for quite a while. So 1-1 is the count. Now the pickoff move to first, and that throw a little bit closer that time in the dirt, but away from the base runner as he dives back safely. And, well, we're going to have to clean that jersey for sure, as he got down and got dirty to get back at first base. 1-1 is the count, 1 out. And Hancock is at the plate. Sun kind of creeping out from some of the clouds now as it rolls back into the area. 1-1 pitch coming. Curveball, and it's a beauty in there for a strike. Yes, it is. So that curveball has been Hootie's friend here so far to Miller, as he's ahead in the count, 1-2 now. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Runner over at first base. 5-3 ICC with the lead. We're in the bottom of the 5th here. This game's scheduled for 9. Harding's beautiful pitch in there for strike 3. Another Renaissance Bank strikeout for Houston Harding. And that is going to be his 3rd Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game. Renaissance Bank, understanding you, renaissancebank.com, the best bank in the South, a proud sponsor of ICC Athletics here on the ICC Sports Network. You can always check out our What a Play Wednesday every Wednesday this season. We'll actually be coming close to an end of those. Those each week have been brought to you by Madison Haley, except last week. Jacob Judon, who is a member of the ICC baseball team, he got a medical red shirt this year, but Jacob has been money for us this year, running some of the GoPros before and after games, as you saw the Indians celebrate their MACJC championship, as this ball has popped back and out of play for a foul ball. 0-1 now is the count. Well, I'm just going to have to say it, folks, as that one fouled straight back. I did forget to move the van, as Don told me, and I tried, and I need to listen to Don from now on. He said, hey, get your stuff out, move your van. Gore did not, he forgot, so hopefully that one did not find its way to van 26 with Itawamba Community College on the side. So 0-1 is the count here. This is D. Hawthorne at the plate. Snap throw to first is not in time. As Ike Williams, he's going to be tired. We've thrown over to him about 4 times so far, and each time he's kind of belly flopped back into the bag. And that time I don't think he realized how close he was to the bag when he came back in. His, I would say, throat maybe chest area, kind of went back into the bag, so he takes a little bit of a less lead now. That pitch is going to miss for a ball. 1-1 now is the count here to Hawthorne. He is 0 for 2 on the day. He was the second strikeout victim of the afternoon for Houston Harding. He also popped up to first, and it was a ball that was in foul territory and then drifted back into fair play that Justin Medlin did a good job of chasing back in and catching it. It would have been a fair ball if he actually wouldn't have been able to come back and find it. Hard hit ground ball. This is going to be the shortstop. Coker tosses over to second for the out. 6-4 to retire Hawthorne, and that will end the inning. So the Indians return serve here in the bottom half of the fifth. ICC gets no runs. Gulf Coast gets no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. So we'll take a break and come back with the top of the 6th inning. ICC leads it 5-3. Let's hear from the PTK out of Tupelo and more here on the ICC Sports Network.
Student involvement is a top priority here at Itawamba Community College.
If you want to be involved with student government, then the Student Government Association is the place for you.
If you have a stellar GPA, then Phi Theta Kappa is for you.
If you're interested in the diverse culture of our campus population, then the Diversity Club is for you.
If you're interested in leadership and service, then Indian Delegation is for you.
If you're majoring in computer programming or computer networking, then CPNA, the Computer Programming Networking Association, is for you.
If you're interested in good conversations and free lunch on Thursdays, then the Wesley Foundation is for you.
Our health science programs also have specific organizations for those majors.
Student Activities is excited to bring you new opportunities here at the ICC Tupelo campus.
Whatever your passion may be, we have a place for you.
This video is brought to you by Phi Theta Kappa, Beta Chi Sigma, Tupelo campus.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody come up and asked if the second game starts at 7. No, it will start shortly after the completion of this one. I said it will be a 7-inning game. So that might have been the confusion there, as this will be Russell Bunch leading us off. Russell is 1 for 1 on the day with a walk. He singled and was left stranded in scoring position in his previous at-bat. They were asked him if he went. They said he did not, and so that will go for a ball. So 0-1 is the count here to Russell Bunch. Well, I'll tell you this, and don't anybody tell her because I know she's not watching right now, as this is going to be a shot out to the center fielder. He'll go back and squeeze it for the out, as that's going to be a line out to center field. Well, having to run the broadcast, do the broadcast, and keep stats, and adding Twitter to my duties today kind of makes me miss Madison Haley, who sometimes runs our Twitter accounts. She's done a great job for us this year. Madison, Josie Hill, Javon Keys, and then at the beginning of the year we had Bronson Payne. That was our work study, and he moved on to better things, as he says. No, I'm kidding. He was able to take care of business and be able to get out of ICC after one semester. So we do appreciate those students that help us out throughout the year. Madison, Josie, Bronson, and Javon, who really, really do a great job for us. But, yeah, don't anybody tell her, but kind of missing Madison running Twitter today, as I tend to forget from time to time what I'm doing and have to update in a hurry. That pitch missing. 1-1 now is the count, as this is Kyle Krieger. Krieger is 1 for 2 on the day. Does have a pair of RBIs. He walked and scored a run. He does have a single as well. This pitch popped up, a major league pop-up here. First baseman is going to come around now, dancing around in on the grass, and will camp underneath it for the out. Well, again, anything that gets lifted in the air today, you can't really see it in the trees in the background, but there's a high wind with these clouds coming in, and it's just making fits on anything that's popped up like we just saw there, but a nice job by the first baseman, Cullen O'Shea, to be able to squeeze that for out number 2. So 2 away now, as we're in the top of the 6th inning. 5-3 is the score. ICC with the lead here in game 1. That pitch missing low and inside. This is Jackson Lancaster. Lancaster singled, was erased on a Little Caesars double play back in the first. He's flew out to center, struck out looking in his previous at-bat. Going to try to spark the bats here with 2 outs in the inning. Fastball high, 2-0 now. Goes the count here to Jackson Lancaster. Lancaster playing in center field. It's been solid out there today. Had a tough play out in center field earlier in the contest that on a deep fly ball that carried him into the fence that he was able to hang on to. As check swing, and it's going to be going for a base hit. Well, look what I found, says Jackson Lancaster, as sometimes the break just goes your way, and that was one of them there for Jackson. That's going to be his second hit of the day. So you can find his name in the box score tomorrow in the Northeast Mississippi Daily Journal. We do appreciate John Pitts, David Wheeler for all they do for us here at ICC and the sports coverage there at the Daily Journal. So now this is going to bring up LeBryant Siddell to the plate after that 2-out hit. We look at it one more time here on that check swing as Lancaster looked like he was thinking about going over to second, but it's a good job by the left fielder to be able to get out there and cut it off in a hurry. Throw to first is not in time. So LB is at the plate. Can the Indians spark a 2-out rally here? Gulf Coast looking for the exit. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Beautiful breaking pitch across for a strike. Yes, it is. Well, Darby Gilbert, who was bringing the heat the previous inning, has gone more off speed here, and the Indians batters trying to adjust. LeBryant Siddell at the plate. He had that solo home run. Runner goes, and it's going to be a stolen base as picking a good pitch to run on that time was Jackson Lancaster. As it was low, the catcher, Matt Enlow, did everything he could when he came up ready to throw. The ball was just not there with him, and so a stolen base for Lancaster, and we'll take a look at some numbers on Lancaster as that's going to be his 15th stolen base of the year. He leads the Indians in that stat category. So 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs. Runner in scoring position here for LeBryant Siddell. LB looking for a base hit here. Speed of Jackson Lancaster could score him. Fouls that one off, and 1-2 now goes to the count here to Siddell. He grounded into a Little Caesars double play, 6-4-3 in the first inning. Had a solo home run in the top of the 3rd, and then reached on a fielder's choice in the 4th. So would love to see him redeem himself here and see if he can keep this inning alive. 1-2 is the count. Gilbert looking for the exit here. Taking a lot of time. There's a runner at second in Jackson Lancaster. LB swings himself out of his shoes, fouls that one back, and the count will stay at 1-2. Well, if he could have timed that one up, that one would have traveled for quite a while, as that was some velocity on the pitch and a heck of a swing by LeBryant Siddell as it's fouled back, and we'll stay at 1-2. We're in the top of the 6th inning. This game's scheduled for 9 here in Game 1. One-two pitch coming. Up the middle. And, a great diving stop by the second baseman. The throw will not be in time. That was a heck of an effort that time by the second baseman just to find the baseball. And what he did there was keep him run off the board. LB hustled that one out. The second baseman, Fisher Ray, did everything he could to try to get that one over to first, but an amazing stop. If he doesn't make that stop, Jackson Lancaster scores with ease. And so back-to-back 2-out singles now, and this will bring up Justin Medlin. So Medlin will come to the plate here as runners on the corners with 2 outs. He had a solo home run in the first inning, and it came after that Little Caesars double play, so that was a big-time defensive play by the Bulldogs, or it would have been a multiple-run home run. Since then, he popped up to third base in foul territory and flew out to center in his previous at-bat. Looks at the first pitch, missing low and outside for a ball. LeBryant Siddell, he's over at first base. He's stolen 4 bases, 4 out of 5 steal attempts this year. Medlin, he leads the Indians with 8 home runs on the year. He does have 36 RBIs, would love to find 37 here. That pitch, missing low and outside for ball 2. 2-0 now is the count. 5-3 is your score, the Indians, with 10 hits in the contest. Got him with 11 as this is a shot. If it stays fair, it's gone. Good Lord, a 3-run bomb that was a no-doubter. Medlin with his second home run of the day. How do you do, Justin Medlin? Please forgive me for not being too professional on that call there, but that was a shot that Tyreek Reed would even have to tip his hat at, and that was a big-time blast there, a 3-run home run. And that was a big-time shot there. And you saw Just, he knew that was gone right off the bat, and the Indians now take an 8-3 lead. That home run came with 2 outs in the inning. Those 3 hits came with 2 outs in the inning, and that's what makes a good baseball team, ladies and gentlemen, as a team that can come up with some clutch 2-out hitting. And now this is going to be Brett Coker at the plate. Coker takes that first pitch across for a strike. 0-1 is the count to Coker. He's 0 for 3 on the day with a strikeout. Is that pitch? Wow, called a strike. ICC faithful thought it was a little low. The umpire said, nope, strike 2. 0-2 now is the count here to Brett Coker, so he's going to choke up and protect the plate here. That pitch missing outside for a ball. Well, I said Just would love to find RBI number 36. Instead, he found 36, 37, and 38, including home run number 9 on the season. That leads the Indians in that stat category. Coker fouls this one back to keep the at-bat alive here at 1-2. Second home run of the day. This is the second series that Justin Medlin has had multiple home runs in. If you remember back at the East Central Series, Justin actually had a chance to hit for the cycle and home runs. As this pitch in the dirt for a ball. They're going to ask if he went. He did not. He didn't even swing. 2-2 now is the count. So he had a solo home run, a 3-run home run. Then he had a 2-run home run. He actually came to bat with bases loaded against East Central at a shot at the Grand Slam that would have been for the cycle of home runs. Instead, East Central elected to walk him, and there's going to be a shot up the middle. Shortstop's going to get to him. Going to have to hurry the throw. Wow, it's in time. No way. So a big-time break there for the Bulldogs, and Brett's going to argue that call, and I'm going to have to say, Brett, you got a pretty good argument on that call there, as Coach Collier's going to come out and say something to the infield umpire as well. Coker was there. There's no doubt about it. But sometimes whenever you make a spectacular play and get a bang-bang play like that, and 2, whenever you're just not getting the breaks to plate, those tend to go against you. And that was just a tough break there. But it was 3 runs on 3 hits and a 3-run home run by Justin Medlin to make it an 8-3 contest. We'll take a break and hear a few words from our sponsors and come back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
First American National Bank is a local bank. Our 10 locations are right here in Northeast Mississippi. Banking decisions are made locally by people who live here, and it's been that way for more than 50 years. Our involvement in the community is important to us. That's where our roots are. Technology, it changes daily, but our community is what keeps us together. If you like high-tech banking, we've got that too. Follow the flag to First American National Bank, from Iuka to Tupelo.
The newly formed Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi wants to make sure you are receiving the best orthopedic care possible. Our staff of 7 experienced, board-certified surgeons specialize in a specific area of the body and can treat you with the newest and latest technology available to fast-track your road to recovery. Call us for same-day appointments at 662-377-BONE and come see us at Gloucester Creek Village in Tupelo. At the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our specialty is you.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 8-3 is your score as Houston Harding staying on the mound here as taking his final warm-up toss. And for the Bulldogs, it'll be the 4-5-6 batters due up here. That will be Brandon Parker, Alden Davis, and Cullen O'Shea. And the meat of the lineup here, especially Davis and O'Shea, has been tough outs today. Parker is 0 for 2 with a fly ball to deep center field. Pop up to second. Davis is 2 for 2 on the day with 2 runs scored. He's got a single and a double. Cullen O'Shea has a pair of singles, a run scored, and an RBI. So Harding's first pitch is going to be low and inside for a ball. So we're in the bottom of the 6th inning, game 1 here between ICC and Gulf Coast. We'll do welcome those that are watching here on the ICC Sports Network, the Red Channel. Remind you to join us on Sunday. We'll have softball at Southwest as a little nubber off the bat that time, and it's going to be a tough play, and it's going to go for an infield single. That one just wouldn't find anybody as it was too far away from the pitcher. The second baseman, Kyle Krieger, did a great job of coming up, putting a glove on it, and just tossing it out of his glove. So that's going to go for the first hit of the day for Brandon Parker, and that will be the 8th hit of the contest for the Bulldogs. That was just one that just went where they weren't, I guess you can say. So now this will be Alden Davis, and he has been a tough out today for the Indians. 2 for 2 with a double and a single. And now time is called by the home plate umpire, and he is trying to get Coach Collier to settle down here, and Collier not happy with the previous call to end the inning, and then going to try to come out and make a point on that one. Now, he was safe. That wasn't close over there at first base. It was just a situation where the runner just beat that one out, and it's just a chance for Coach Collier to make a point. But if you're Rick, you got to be careful. That guy's going to be behind the plate in game 2. Curveball, and this is going to be a flare out to the right side, and that's going to go for a base hit. And they tried to throw it in a hurry, and the ball got away from the shortstop, but Bunch was there to back it up. So back-to-back singles, and that's the 3rd hit of the day for Alden Davis. Have yourself a day, Davis, as he is just looking at beach balls coming to the plate right now as that goes for his 3rd hit. And now here comes Cullen O'Shea. He's also seeing the ball well today, as he's 2 for 2 with a pair of singles and an RBI and a run scored. Well, it was a tough break for Brett Coker. Looked like he beat the play over at first. It was called out, so 6-3 on the putout to end the inning. And then the Indians have seen back-to-back singles now, and wasn't really a questionable play by Parker. I'm not going to say it was a questionable play. He was safe, but it's just one of those situations where Rick kind of wanted to get in the ear of the umpire, using that as an example. So now with runners at first and second and no outs, that pitch catches the lower part of the corner of the plate for a strike. Let's take a look at some Renaissance Bank scoreboard updates. Brother Chris Burrows, we do appreciate you texting those in here. After 2, Meridian leading Colin 5-2. It's middle of the 5th, Pearl River leading Northwest 7-4. As that pitch going high for a ball. Middle of the 6th, Hines leads Northeast 2-1. And after 8, Holmes leading Southwest 10-3. Those are your Renaissance Bank scoreboard updates throughout the league. And again, appreciate Brother Chris Burrows, the director of the ICC Baptist Student Union, who, by the way, is a proud sponsor of ICC Athletics as well. 1-1 now is the count here to O'Shea. This pitch popped up. Domino is going to take a few steps back. Now it's going to jog in and going to have to dance around a little bit, then gets it, and the throw in. So that will be a fly ball to right to retire O'Shea for the first time this afternoon. And now with 1 out, the runners were unable to advance. And now this is going to bring up Matt Enlow. Enlow lined into a Little Caesars double play to get 2 outs the 4th. He's also flown out to deep center field. So yeah, we talked with the SID Don Hammock here between innings, and he had pointed out how the tree is, or the flag out there in center field is surrounded by trees, so it rarely moves, and you kind of can look down at softball and look at their field where the flag's blowing there, and it's kind of blowing in from left field. So anything you hit the left field, if you're going to get out of the ballpark, you're going to have to put a pop on it. So it is kind of carrying a little bit, and it is, you can see some of these high fly balls dancing around, making some issues. So with 1 out, runners at first and second. Indians lead at 8-3 here. Is that pitch over there for a strike? Yes, it is. Give a shout out to Miss Brenda Judon, who is also watching from Hamilton. We talked about Jacob earlier. Is that pitch in there for a strike? Jacob did our What a Play Wednesday last week. He also has commandeered the GoPro a few times and took you inside the dog pile after winning the state championship with the Game 2 win over Delta, so we do appreciate Jacob and all he does for us as well. 0-2 is the count here to Matt Enlow. Pitch coming. Grounder, third baseman's going to have time. There's one. Can they get two? No, the ball gets away into the dugout, so that will allow the run to score. And then there will be an error on the throw. The fielder's choice is how Enlow will reach. And so that makes it an 8-4 contest. The runner, Parker, scores. And that retires Davis on the fielder's choice. And Enlow will head to second after the ball got into the dugout on the throwing error. The first error of the day on the Indians. There is 2 outs in the inning as that pitch missing outside for a ball. And this is Fisher Ray at the plate. Fisher had an RBI, 2 RBI double. Grounded out to second to end the 4th. Trying to redeem himself here. That pitch in the dirt blocked up nicely that time by Austin Powell. Keep the runner at second. 8-4 is your score. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. So 2-0 is the count here to Fisher Ray. Ray, a little late on that one, fouls it back. 2-1 now goes the count. We talked about it. Fisher got a little Calhoun County connection as his dad, James Ray, used to be the head football coach at Bruce, and making me feel old seeing guys like Fisher out here in his sophomore year. As this pitch swung on and missed for strike 2. Not only that, but saw some more familiar faces. Of course, the Massey family, they're from Bruce. They play, Bailey is over at Gulf Coast, or here at Gulf Coast, playing on the softball team. And that pitch missing high, 3-2 now goes the count. But yeah, saw Robbie Spratlin earlier, his son playing at Northwest. They stayed at the same hotel as ICC last night. So yeah, I'm getting old, folks. 3-2 is the count. There's 2 outs. Can we find a Renaissance Bank strikeout the ending in here? Instead, it's going to drift high for a ball, and that'll be a walk issued to Fisher Ray. Nice at bat that time by Ray to find a way on with 2 outs here in the inning. And now this will be Nick Sims, the DH, coming to the plate. And Coach Collier's going to make the slow roll to the mound here. Let's take a timeout here. Word from Sonic, and be back with more right after this. 2 outs in the inning. ICC leading at 8-4. Runners at first and second here for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, these Red Bull slushes are invigorating, right?
I know it, man. I'm feeling confident, feeling pumped. I want to jump this thing.
I don't know if that's such a good idea, TJ.
No, man, I need help. Can we jump this thing?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Rush in for Sonic's new Red Bull slushes. Half price during happy hour.
Bacon, Swiss cheese, juicy chicken on a King's Hawaiian bun.
Oh, what else is it saying?
It's saying you still owe me that $30.
Hang up!
Hurry into Sonic for the King's Hawaiian Chicken or Burger Club and try order ahead to get happy hour anytime.
Well, no change made here for the Indians as Coach Collier just wanted to come out and kind of talk to Hootie for a second and say, hey, let's go find this 3rd out in the inning here and get out of this thing with no damage, with minimum damage done. 1 run is already scored in the contest, or here in this inning, I should say. Makes it an 8-4 contest, ICC over Gulf Coast. We're in the bottom of the 6th. This game's scheduled for 9. So this is Sims at the plate. Swings on the first pitch he sees, and he's going to rip it out there, and that's going to score a run. We're going to ask the runner to go to 3rd, and the throw will be cut off, and the runner will stay at 1st. And a big-time clutch hit there, the first of the day for Nick Sims, as that scores the run, an RBI single for Sims. Enlow comes around to score. And now we go back to the top of the lineup. Here come the Bulldogs. They're charging back, and it looks like that's going to do it. here for Houston Harding. We'll take a break and hear a few words from our sponsors and introduce you to the new pitcher for the Indians right after this on the ICC Sports Network. ICC leads at 8-5.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
Itawamba Community College is now offering 3-day weekends. You can be one of the first to take advantage of a compact course schedule with a majority of classes offered Monday through Thursday. Let us customize your education to fit your needs. Become a part of the ICC family and apply today at apply.iccms.edu. ICC, the best start here.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. New pitcher in the game here for ICC is going to be number 19. That is going to be David Rowland. Rowland is 2-0 in the year. He's pitched 16 and 2/3 inning. He's given up 14 hits, 3 runs, 1 of those earned. He's walked 6, has struck out 14, has a .54 ERA, and he's going to be called into a tough situation here as that single by Sims bumps Hootie. As Roland will continue to take his warm-up toss. Let's hear a quick message from Little Caesars and be back with more right here on the ICC Sports Network.
Celebrate outrageous amounts of toppings with Little Caesars Extra Most Bestest. With the most cheese and now with the most toppings at the nation's best price. Create your favorite pizza starting at $6. Pay, then express pickup at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
And welcome back as we go back to the top of the lineup now. This is going to be Ike Williams coming to the plate. There is a runner at third base, and we'll probably have a runner coming in this situation. I was thinking there was supposed to be a runner at first. Looked up and didn't see anybody. And they are going to call the guy out. They're going to give him a second to stretch here, see if we can pick up his number. Looks like number 12 coming in for the Bulldogs. Castor Lee coming in to run. So Lee will enter to run here as the tying run is now at the plate here for the Bulldogs. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. This game has had quite the ebb and flow as it has been up and down, almost one of those games where anything you can do, I can do better throughout the contest. As now Roland will enter to pitch here, trying to get the Indians out of this little bit of a jam. 2 runs now have scored in the inning. Off-speed pitch missing for a ball. Ike Williams is 1 for 2 on the day. He did walk, was caught trying to steal. He singled back in the 5th inning, but was left stranded. The 5th has been the only frame where neither team has put a run on the board. Ever since then, each team has been able to put runs up as this pitch is fouled off and will get out of play, and it will even up the count now at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs. Runners on the corners here for the Bulldogs. Tying run is at the plate. ICC looking for the exit here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Game 1 between ICC and Gulf Coast. Now, midway through the season, the way things were shaping up, we really thought this game right here would be for the state championship. And Gulf Coast, well, they're still a good baseball team. They just dropped a couple of tough losses along the way, and this one, ICC was able to capture that state championship last week, or earlier this week, I should say. There's a rip, but there's a liner right to the shortstop, and a good job by Roland to come in and get the final out of the inning and keep the damage to a minimum. So the Bulldogs do get 2 runs on 3 hits and 1 error, as it's now 8-5 after 2 runs in the bottom part of the inning. ICC had 3 runs in the top half. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
Ever since you got that license, you haven't stopped moving forward. Now that you're older and on the move, you need a safer place to keep your money. We get it. A student checking account frees you up with things like mobile check deposit to take care of that check from grandma without having to stop at a bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And stop worrying about ATM fees. We'll pay you back for those. Worry about your future, not your money. And know that we'll stick with you, wherever you go. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC.
The longer a person has diabetes, the more likely they are to develop diabetic retinopathy. If left untreated, diabetic retinopathy can lead to blindness. That's why it's important for diabetics to have a comprehensive eye examination with dilation once a year. I'm Dr. Laurie Cagle of Cagle Eye Center in Fulton. We offer comprehensive eye exams to provide diagnosis and treatment of various eye diseases. Browse our large selection of frames available in prescription and non-prescription. Call to schedule your appointment today at Cagle Eye Center in Fulton.
And welcome back, as it will be Austin Powell to start us off here. As Powell looks at that pitch high for a ball. Well, the Indians put 3 runs on the board after a 3-run home run in the top of the 6th. The Bulldogs battled back and answered with a pair of runs in the bottom half of the inning. So now to be Powell, Hall, and Domino scheduled up for the Indians, as that pitch missing outside, and we'll roll back to the catcher here, and the count goes 2-0. Well, if you're watching here, we'd invite you to come back on Sunday, as we'll have a First American National Bank opening pitch coming your way at 2 o'clock for the softball team, who will be on the road tomorrow traveling to Southwest, as this pitch fouled back. And now the count goes 2-1. So 2 balls, 1 strike, and no outs here to Austin Powell, who ticks that one, but held on to there for a strike. 2-2 now is the count. Powell is 2 for 3. He's got a pair of singles and a run scored. He did strike out swinging in his previous at bat. This pitch popped up right side, should stay in play. First baseman's giving chase, will dance around, and no, it will get out of play. Well, I know you really couldn't see how he was shifting around out there on the first base side, but again, the way that wind's blowing, it just carried it out, and he was chasing it, almost gave up on it, saw it kind of dance back towards him, and then it eventually gets about a foot out of play over the fencing over there on the right side. So Austin Powell will come back to the plate here with a new life. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and no outs as Austin is starting us off here in the top of the 7th inning. This game is scheduled for 9. That's been the case for all conference games this year. As that pitch, ooh, good-looking pitch there, but the umpire's going to say it was a ball. I even think Austin might have thought he looked at strike 3 that time. A breaking pitch that just did not quite turn over enough for Darby Gilbert. Gilbert's come in and been money. Got roughed up a little bit there in the top of the 6th. And there's swinging strike 3. Good job that time by Gilbert, coming back and getting the Renaissance Bank strikeout, the 4th of the game for Gilbert. And now this will be Jacob Hall coming to the plate. Hall, the DH. He is 0 for 2 with the walk. He was left stranded back in the 5th inning. So Hall will try to spark the bat, see if the Indians can get a couple of those runs back that they gave up in the bottom half of the 6th, and time is taken here. Good crowd out today supporting Gulf Coast. As we said, it's sophomore day, and as always, a great crowd traveling to support ICC this afternoon. As that pitch missing low for a ball. 1-0 is the count here to Jacob Hall. Jacob, his family doesn't live too far from here. I believe he's from the Petal area. As that pitch going to be outside for a strike. Actually, his mother messaged me on Facebook, saw that I was traveling last night. She's friends with a really good friend of mine, Tasha Timms, and Tasha said, hey, if it's not too late, if you get tired, we got an extra bedroom, feel free to stay. So I appreciate TT doing that. And Jacob's mom said, hey, we live on the same road. Anytime you need us, let us know. As Hall that time takes a big time hack at that one, comes up empty. 1-2 now is the count here on Jacob Hall. So 1-2 is the count here to Hall. Going to have to protect the plate. Fouls this one off the netting. Actually, it hit a wasp, but I saw the wasp drop straight down, so Jacob Hall doing a favor for everybody and getting rid of some of those pests here at the ballpark. 1-2 stays the count after that foul ball. Hall at the plate. Will foul this one back once again, and a good at bat right now going by Jacob Hall, trying to find a way to win the battle. And see if he can reach on a one-out hit here. The count is 2-2 on Jacob Hall. That pitch missing outside. Now the count goes full at 3-2. Should be three balls, 2 strikes is the count here on Jacob Hall. So Hall got to find a way, see if he reaches on a walk here to win this battle. Gilbert, though, has been money in these type of situations. This pitch foul back, and we'll do it again. 3-2 stays the count. Clouds moving in. Those are a little darker than we've seen today. I believe I heard Don just mention that Colin was in a rain delay. He's shaking his head saying yes. Rain, stay away here in Perk. And this one foul back again by Hall. So that's been about the 4th, maybe 5th foul ball we've seen in this at-bat here from Jacob Hall. 3-2 stays the count. Gilbert on the hill, but there is somebody warming up in the bullpen here for the Bulldogs. And time's called now by Hall as it was a staring contest, and Hall calls time. The home plate umpire granted it to him. Hall looking for his first hit of the day. He's 0 for 2 with the walk. He'd take a walk again here if he got one. Instead, there's strike 3 as he got him looking back-to-back Renaissance Bank strikeouts. We talked about Hall winning the battle. How about Darby Gilbert? A good job on that inside fastball to nip the part of the plate and get strike 3 called. And so now with back-to-back strikeouts, now here comes Lane Domino. Domino is 2 for 3 on the day with a pair of singles. He did steal a base, was erased on a fielder's choice. That was in the 2nd inning. Back in the 4th inning, he singled, scored a run, and he struck out swinging to end the 5th. So looking to redeem himself here. The Indians have not gone 3 up, 3 down all day, as this pitch fouled back for strike 1 here on Domino. They nearly had a 3 up, 3 down inning in the 5th, but it was a 2-out walk to Jacob Hall, who just struck out, that extended the inning there. And so now the Bulldogs trying to get their first 3 up, 3 down inning of the day here in the top of the 7th. Well, we'll tell you about the scoring update as we stretch it out here. As that pitch missing high for a ball. As now the count goes 1-1 here to Lane Domino. So during the stretch, we'll update you on the Sonic scoring so far this afternoon, and we've got a lot to update. Each team with double-digit hits. It's an 8-5 contest here on the top of the 7th. That pitch called a strike. And so now the count goes 1-2 here to Lane Domino. Domino is going to have to guard the dish. Darby trying to find his way out of the inning here. 2 strikeouts so far in the inning. This one fouled back and out of play, and we'll stay at 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Nobody on here in the top of the 7th. This game's scheduled for 9 innings here in Game 1. 1-2 pitch coming. Ground ball, foul ball, and we'll stay at 1-2. Well, a nice off-speed pitch that time after serving up some fastballs to Domino, who fouled those off. Domino was able to find a piece of it to keep the at-bat alive here. 1 ball and 2 strikes and 2 outs. Pair of Renaissance Bank strikeouts so far for Gilbert here this inning. Awaiting the pitch here is coming, and that one's going to be low and inside. Evens the count now at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. If Domino were to reach, it'll be Russell Bunch, the third baseman, due up next here for the Indians. We'll try to have highlights of these games ready for you in the morning, as this pitch is going to miss low. 3-2 now goes the count to Domino. You can you can subscribe to our channel and get updates when we do post those at Let's Go ICC on Twitter. Just search Let's Go ICC on YouTube is what I meant to say. As this pitch popped up right side, should stay in play. First baseman's going to give chase, and he does. And he makes the play as he closes in on the fence for the first time today. The Indians go 3 up, 3 down here in the top of the 7th inning. A nice inning there for Gilbert No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We'll take a break and come back with the bottom of the 7th. Due up will be the 2-3-4 batters, Hancock, Hawthorne, and Parker for the Bulldogs as Roland retakes the hill here for ICC. But before we do that, let's take a break and hear about freshman orientation and more here on the ICC Sports Network.
Your success at ICC starts with freshman orientation. Learn what the college has to offer, register for classes, meet your new ICC family, and discover all the ways to get involved across our 3 locations.
Hey guys, it's Madison, an orientation leader here at ICC. After you apply for enrollment, sign up for orientation because spots are filling up fast. Find out more at iccms.edu/orientation.
Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
And welcome back now as we move to the bottom of the 7th inning. This will be Miller Hancock coming to the plate. He doubled back in the first, since then has struck out twice. First time that he'll be facing Roland. David Roland came in with 2 outs in the inning, got a line out to the shortstop to get the Indians out of the jam and keep a minimum damage done to 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th. So see what he can do here. This first pitch is Hancock swings himself out of the shoes, fouls that one back. 0-1 now is the count here to the shortstop. Well, as we said, I was going to give you a scoring update, but had to answer a quick work text message as that pitch is in there for strikes. Let's go back and look at the scoring update so far here as we're in the bottom of the 7th inning. For ICC, they scored 2 runs in the top of the first. It was a Kyle Krieger that scored on a double play that Bryant Siddell hit into, then a solo home run as that pitch outside for a ball. 1-2 now is the count. A solo home run for Justin Medlin to give ICC a 2-0 lead after 1 complete. And then the Indians tacked on another run in the top of the 2nd. It was whenever Austin Powell singled and scored when Kyle Krieger reached on a fielder's choice. That ball missing for ball 2. 2-2 now is the count here to Hancock. The Bulldogs, they got 2 runs in the bottom half of the 2nd. It was a 2-run double by Fisher Ray that scored Allen Davis and Cullen O'Shea. The Indians got a solo home run from LeBryant Siddell to start the top of the 3rd as there's a fly ball right side out of play, and the count will stay at 2-2. No runs in the bottom half of the 3rd inning there for the Bulldogs. ICC tacked on another run in the top of the 4th. It was a RBI single from Kyle Krieger that scored Lane Domino. And then the Bulldogs, however, got a run back in the bottom half of the 4th inning after a double from Davis. He advanced on a wild pitch as that pitch missing for a ball. 3-2 now is the count. Cullen O'Shea, he singled in Davis to make it a 5-3 contest. The Indians in the top of the 6th inning, as this pitch fouled off, will stay at 3-2. The Indians in the top of the 6th inning got back-to-back 2-out singles from Jackson Lancaster and LeBryant Siddell, and then my, it was a big boy shot by Justin Medlin that turned into a 3-run home run to put the Indians up 8-3, and then it was 2 runs in the bottom half of the 6th inning as there's a shot out to center field, and it's going to go for a base hit for Miller Hancock, his 2nd hit of the day. And then it was 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning for the Bulldogs. It was Parker and Enlow that each scored in that situation. The Parker run came whenever the throw got away and into the dugout, and that allowed him to run. The runner advanced over, and it was an RBI single by Nick Sims. Looks like that might do it here for Roland as the Indians are going to look towards the bullpen. And if that's the case, then we'll take a break and hear a word from Sonic and be back with more. ICC leads at 8-5 with the Bulldogs. Charging back late in this one. We'll be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
Man, these Red Bull slushes are invigorating, right?
I know it, man. I'm feeling confident, feeling pumped. I want to jump this thing.
I don't know if that's such a good idea, TJ.
No, man, I need help. Can we jump this thing?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Rush in for Sonic's new Red Bull slushes. Half price during happy hour.
Bacon, Swiss cheese, juicy chicken on a King's Hawaiian bun.
Oh, what else is it saying?
It's saying you still owe me that $30.
Hang up!
Hurry into Sonic for the King's Hawaiian Chicken or Burger Club and try order ahead to get happy hour anytime.
And welcome back. As a new pitcher in the contest is going to be Braden Ellis. He's a sophomore. He's kind of a utility player. He'll come in and play second base sometimes for the Indians. He has 1 save on the year. Has pitched 6 1/3 innings. He's given up 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned. He's walked 3 and struck out 4. He has a 1.42 ERA. We're going to take a break and hear a word from all of our sponsors and more as Ellis takes his warm-up tosses. ICC leads at 8-5, but the Bulldogs trying to battle back in this one as they got a runner on first and no outs here in the bottom of the 7th.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as ICC clinging to an 8-5 lead here in the bottom of the 7th. The Bulldogs have been chipping away the entire game. ICC has had the answer for them when they do this afternoon, but now the Bulldogs will be in this situation here. So now this will be D. Hawthorne coming to the plate. He is 0 for 3 on the day with a strikeout. Swings on the first pitch he sees from Ellis, and it's going to be down the line, and it's going to go for extra bases and should score a run here. And they're going to ask the run to score, and they're going to hold him up at second, and that's going to be a big-time double there. Off the bat of D. Hawthorne, the first pitch he sees, he got aggressive, pulled it down the line, and that's going to be an RBI double as Miller Hancock caught an extra gear and scampered from first to home, and now it's 8-6 with the tying run coming to the plate here. So that's going to close the book on Ellis as that run will belong to, or excuse me, close the book on Rowland, I should say. So now this will be Parker coming to the plate. The Bulldogs finding a little bit of life now as they've got 1 run on the board and a runner at second. Tying run is at the plate now as that pitch going to miss low for a ball from Braden Ellis. So 1-0 is the count here to Brandon Parker. He singled and scored a run in his previous at-bat. He's 1 for 3 on the day with a fly ball out to center field, a deep fly ball to center field, and a pop-up to second as that pitch across for a strike. Evens the count now at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, and no outs here. Runner at second, that is Hawthorne, who just doubled in a run to make it 8-6 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Is that pitch in there for a strike? Yes, it is. 1-2 now is the count as some of the Boo Birds breaking out from the Gulf Coast faithful here to our right. So now the count goes 1-2 here on Brandon Parker. Can Ellis get his first Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day? No, he can't as he throws that one outside. Almost a throwaway pitch that time. Good eye on the part of Brandon Parker to hold off on that one as the count evens up at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and no outs. There is a runner at second. 8-6. Bulldogs battling back in this one. ICC with the lead. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning here in game 1, so that means we're playing 9. That pitch blocked up. The runner will advance on the wild pitch. Well, smart decision that time by Hawthorne as saw that the ball got away, and he just took off immediately. Austin couldn't find the ball as it kind of took a funny hop off that turf. And now the Bulldogs can make it a 1-run contest here with a hit. Tie it up if he can find a way to get it out of the ballpark. But ICC fans hoping not to see that. The count goes full now here on Brandon Parker. Awaiting the 3-2 pitch here from Ellis. Pitch coming. Fastball misses for a ball. So now the Bulldogs have the tying run on base. And here comes trouble. Alden Davis. Have yourself a day, young man. You're 3 for 3 with a pair of singles and a double. He's also scored 2 runs. So if you're the Bulldogs, this is who you want at the plate in this situation. So the Indians have got to figure out the riddle that is Davis to try to retire him for the first time today. Runners on the corners here for Gulf Coast as the Indians are going to go through their signals here in this situation. You've got Hawthorne, who's got good speed over there at third base, and then Brendan Parker, who is at second base, and try to see what he's done on the bases this year. Oh, he's only stole 11 bases, has not been caught just yet, as that pitch is going to miss outside for a ball. So you've got a lot of speed over there at first base in Parker. That pitch missed low and outside. 1-0 now is the count. No outs. Runners on the corners here for the Bulldogs. Let's see if they get aggressive. Try to put the runner in motion. And they're not going to have to. That's a no-doubter off the bat of Parker. And now the Bulldogs have battled back to take the lead with a 3-run home run. And that right there, we talked about Medlin's shot being a monster shot. That one was one that you knew was gone right off the bat. A 3-run home run from Alden Davis, and he is 4 for 4 on the day, and the Bulldogs now take a 9-8 lead. What a wild ball game today. As that one, a no-doubter out in the trees in left center above the scoreboard when it exited the ballpark. So that will bump Houston Harding out of the decision. It will also take Dawson Hall out of the decision as well. This pitch fouled back for strike one, as this is Cullen O'Shea. He's been a tough out today as well for the Indians. He's 2 for 3 on the day with a pair of singles, an RBI, and a run scored. He did fly out to right field for the second out of the 6th inning. Hard hit ball. It's going to go for a foul. And 0-2 now is the count here to O'Shea. Well, if you're the Indians in this situation, you just say, okay, what's done is done. Let's go find the first out of the inning here. But if you're the Bulldogs, you want to keep it going. See if you can keep that merry-go-round spinning as this worked positively here through the bottom of the 7th. This pitch foul back and out of play. The Bulldogs have put 4 runs on the board here in the inning. It was a single by Hancock to start the inning, then a double that scored Hancock from D. Hawthorne. He advanced to third on the wild pitch. It was a walk that was issued to Parker, and then Alden Davis took care of the rest. He just sat back, was looking for a breaking ball, and got it and put it a country mile out there over the fence. As a big swing and a miss, ball gets away. The runner will have to be thrown out at first. He will, so that will go for a Renaissance Bank strikeout, the first of the day, 2-3 on the putout of O'Shea. And now this will bring up Matt Enlow. Enlow is 0 for 3 on the day. He did reach on a fielder's choice, eventually came around to score. He lined into a Little Caesars double play back in the 4th and flew out to center field on a nice play by Jackson Lancaster. That was in the 2nd. So with 1 out now and nobody on, this is going to be Enlow, the catcher, digging in, swings and misses on that inside fastball for strike 1. Remind you, we will have game 2 coming your way, as we'll try to update you on some scores, and that's going to be a hit batter. Well, a nightmare inning for the Indians continue here. The Bulldogs have cashed in as now they lead it 9-8 in the bottom of the 7th. So let's check on some scores here. It's a final in game 1. Holmes wins 11-7 over Southwest. You've got a lightning delay until 4:40 at Colin. Meridian leads that one 5-2. That's in the top of the 3rd as this pitch fouled back for a strike. Pearl River leading over Northwest 11-4. That's through 7 innings. And no news out of Jones. They're streaming their graduations today, so we'll try to see if we can check on Twitter to get an update on the Jones games there. So that first pitch fouled back for a strike. That pitch inside nearly hitting the batter again as it goes for a ball. Remind you, speaking of Twitter, you can follow us on Twitter at Let's Go ICC. That's at Let's Go ICC. If you're watching, hit me up. Let me know you're watching. We had a few fans already hit us up. Glenn Haley hit me up on my personal account at Gore Sports if you want to follow me there. As this pitch is fouled back off the netting, 1-2 is the count. We've also heard from Ashley Harding and Brenda Judon. Our good buddy Adam Bridges checking in as well. So follow us on Twitter at Let's Go ICC. Pitch coming inside corner for a strike. Yes, it is. And he struck him out. I was thinking that he didn't strike him out for a second as the batter just stood there for a second. So he just took a slow exit. And so that is going to be the second out of the inning, the second Renaissance Bank strikeout of the inning. And now this is going to be a new batter at the plate. This is going to be Castor Lee, who came in to run earlier in the game. So Lee will enter to hit here. He will come in with 2 outs now. As that pitch missing outside. He entered to run for Nick Sims. That was in the 6th inning. So he will now take over for Sims, who was the DH. As that pitch, don't know where that one missed, but it called it a ball. 2-0 now is the count. So 2-0 is the count here to Castor Lee. There is a runner at first base. 2 outs, 4 runs have scored here in the bottom of the 7th. Justin Medlin calling everyone off in foul territory and will squeeze it for the out. But the Bulldogs do the damage. They score 4 runs on 3 hits, highlighted by a 3-run home run by Alden Davis. And ICC's got some work to do. They trail for the first time today as we move to the top of the 8th. 9-8, Gulf Coast with the lead. Back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
My burger goes best with mustard.
Ketchup and mustard.
Grass-fed beef.
No, corn-fed.
On the grill.
Now, flat top.
Iceberg lettuce.
Nah, arugula. Jalapeno.
No way. Avocado, dude.
Medium rare. Gotta be well done. Brioche.
Sesame seeds.
American cheese.
Cheddar.
Can I have a turkey burger? What? Turkey's for Thanksgiving, man. I like my burger with the Coke.
I'll agree to that. Strictly with a Coke.
Only with the Coke.
Coke and a burger. Come on.
All right.
That's where you get the flavor.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as the Indians trailed this one 9-8 after a 4-spot put on the board by the Bulldogs. It was a single by Miller Hancock. He scored on a double by Hawthorne, and then a 3-run home run by Alden Davis that scored Hawthorne Parker, who walked. And, of course, Davis scored on that one as well. The Bulldogs did put one more runner on the bag after Enlow was hit by a pitch. A pair of Renaissance Bank strikeouts from Ellis, and then a pop-up in foul territory to first is how the inning ended there. This will be the 9-1-2 batters due up here for the Indians, and Russell Bunch will start things off here for ICC. Bunch swings on the first pitch he sees, fouls it back, and out of play for strike 1. Well, we've had 4 home runs in this game, and 2 of them have been big boy shots, one of them off the bat of Justin Medlin, and Davis with the previous home run there. 0-1 is the count to Bunch. They're going to see if he went, and they're going to say yes, he did. That's one of those late in the game strike 2 calls from the infield umpire. It may be one of those as well that kind of remembers that some of the ICC fans and coaches got after him earlier in the contest. Is that pitch missing outside? Not a bad spot to miss. Darby Gilbert has come in and pitched well. He came in the 4th with 1 out in the inning. Or actually with no outs in the inning in the 4th. Was able to get the Indians, get the Indians out of that inning with no damage done. Check swing is going to be a slow roller to the pitcher. He's going to turn around and toss it over. So a tough break there for Russell Bunch. Check swing basically turned into a bunt down the first baseline, 1-3 on the putout for out number 1. And now back to the top of the lineup here for the Indians is it'll be Kyle Krieger coming to the plate. Krieger is 1 for 3 on the day. He did reach on a fielder's choice. He's walked and scored a run. He does have a single and a pair of RBIs in the contest. RBI. Let's call it RBI. It stands for runs batted in. As that pitch missing low for a ball to Krieger. He's playing second base today, so fourth time that he's come to the plate. Jackson Lancaster's on deck for the Indians. ICC would like to find a way to get that run back, at least one of them back to tie it up here. As that pitch high for a ball gets away, nobody on base to do any damage with. Well, we were going to be interested to see how ICC came out to play today. It's really nothing to play for the Indians. They've already secured the state championship. Gulf Coast, however, trying to play for better seeding. If they can get a sweep today, would go a long way for them hosting that best-of-3 series as Krieger fouls this one back off the netting. 2-1 now is the count here on Kyle. So the Bulldogs a lot to play for. Now if you're the Indians, it's gut check time. You can almost use this as a situation saying, okay, we're in the playoffs, we're down a run, and our season is on the line here. Who wants to step up and make something happen? 2-1 is the count. That pitch inside nearly hitting Krieger. And 3-1 now goes the count. Well, again, the Bulldogs do have a pair of guys warming up in the bullpen. So Krieger's going to try to find a way to get on base here. Excuse me, as this pitch has popped up. Right fielder will call him off and squeeze it for out number 2. So down with 2 outs in the inning, this is going to be Jackson Lancaster coming to the plate. Lancaster 2 for 4 on the day. He's got a pair of singles. He scored a run. He's also struck out. So he's going to try to spark the bats here for the Indians with 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. Darby Gilbert, been money for him. Been roughed up at times, but his bats have backed him up. He's been able to get out of some tough jams. That pitch missing high for a ball. So 1-0 now is the count. 2 outs and nobody on here for the Indians. Lancaster trying to spark a 2-out rally here for ICC. They trail at 9-8. That pitch going high for a ball. 2-0 now is the count. Lancaster not interested in that pitch as he basically just actually took his hand off the bat. Didn't even think about swinging. Lancaster can hit for some power. It'd be a big time if he can find a home run here to tie us up. Instead, that pitch is missing for a ball. 3-0 now is the count, so you figure the red light will be on here for Lancaster. Said he does have two hits today and a run scored and a stolen base. And both of those were back in the 6th inning. So the 3-0 pitch coming. And that's going to be a walk issued there to Jackson Lancaster, a 2-out walk, and now this is going to be LeBryant Sedale. Sedale is 2 for 4 on the day. He does have a home run on the day as went Oppo out to right field, and looks like we may have a conversation on the mound here. Let's take a timeout here from Cagle Eye Center and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
The longer a person has diabetes, the more likely they are to develop diabetic retinopathy. If left untreated, diabetic retinopathy can lead to blindness. That's why it's important for diabetics to have a comprehensive eye examination with dilation once a year. I'm Dr. Laurie Cagle of Cagle Eye Center in Fulton. We offer comprehensive eye exams to provide diagnosis and treatment of various eye diseases. Browse our large selection of frames available in prescription and non-prescription. Call to schedule your appointment today at Cagle Eye Center in Fulton.
Man, these Red Bull slushes are invigorating, right?
I know it, man. I'm feeling confident, feeling pumped. I want to jump this thing.
I don't know if that's such a good idea, TJ.
No, man, I need help. Can we jump this thing?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Rush in for Sonic's new Red Bull slushes. Half price during happy hour.
Bacon, Swiss cheese, juicy chicken on a King's Hawaiian bun.
Oh, what else is it saying?
It's saying you still owe me that $30.
Hang up!
Hurry into Sonic for the King's Hawaiian Chicken or Burger Club and try order ahead to get happy hour anytime.
And welcome back, as we do have a pitching change here to be Cole Kittrell coming in, a sophomore right-handed pitcher. This will be his 15th appearance of the year. He is 1-1 on the year with 4 saves. He's pitched 22 2/3 innings, giving up 17 hits, 16 runs. 12 of those have been earned. He's walked 15, has struck out 31, has an ERA of 4.76. We're going to take a break and be back with more. So let's hear a word from all of our sponsors. Indians trail at 9-8. Runner at first with 2 outs, and LeBryant Sedale at the plate. Back with more right after this.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
Itawamba Community College is now offering 3-day weekends. You can be one of the first to take advantage of a compact course schedule with a majority of classes offered Monday through Thursday. Let us customize your education to fit your needs. Become a part of the ICC family and apply today at apply.iccms.edu. ICC, the best start here.
And welcome back as LeBryant Sedale will greet Cole Kittrell to the plate here, or to the contest, I should say. Tying run is at first here for the Indians. There are 2 outs. Big looping breaking pitch, and that one across for a strike. A big-time delay on that one there, and the ICC faithful getting fired up, and the Gulf Coast faithful cheering that one. So now you're getting some folks going back and forth, and now Coach Collier's wanting to come down. And Rick, you got to be careful in this situation. You can't get run because that means you won't be able to coach the first game of the playoffs. And Rick's wanting to come out and talk to the home plate umpire here, and there's another crew that probably won't be getting any Christmas cards from either one of these coaches today, is giving them plenty of time to talk this one over. And so it's one of those, if it's a borderline pitch and you think you might have missed it, you're going to give the coach a little bit of time and a little bit of rope there and not necessarily talk too much to him if you thought it was a strike. So maybe just a little bit of a relief there as giving Rick his say in the situation. 0-1 is the count now to Sedale. Runner goes. Throw down to second. It's not going to be in time. It actually was a throw that bounced off the mound, and the stolen base, the second of the game here for Jackson Lancaster as he moves into scoring position. One of those throws that the catcher, Matt Enlow, just kind of shaking his head as he spiked that one into the pitcher's mound and has hopped into second, and Lancaster there without an issue. So now a base hit will be huge here for the Indians. The tying run in scoring position. LeBryant Sedale to plate with a 1-1 count. This is Cole Kittrell trying to get the Bulldogs out of a 2-out jam here with the runner at second, and Sedale's going to call time. Well, LB did have that home run in the third. He did single in his previous at-bat and eventually came around to score on a 3-run home run by Justin Medlin, who, by the way, is on deck for the Indians. 1-1 pitch coming. Sedale pops this one up. This should get the Bulldogs out of the inning. Second baseman's going to drift over. Now the right fielder calls everyone off and makes the play. Good pitch that time by Cole Kittrell to get the Bulldogs out of the jam, and they maintain their 1-run lead here as ICC gets no runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 left in scoring position. We'll move to the bottom of the 8th inning, where to be the 1-2-3 batters due up for Gulf Coast: Ike Williams, Miller Hancock, and D. Hawthorne. As we'll take a break and hear a few words from our sponsors and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
With the Little Caesars mobile app, you can customize an extra most bestest pizza with the most cheese, and now with the most of any toppings for the nation's best price. It's the crowning pizza achievement. And it's true what they say, it's lonely at the top. Unless you have an extra most bestest pizza, then it's a party at the top!
Little Caesars Extra Most Bestest Pizzas, the world's easiest way to outrageous amounts of toppings, starting at $6.
Pizza. Davis Ford in Fulton is your Ford dealer for new cars, trucks, and SUVs, and has a wide inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Find your next dream car or truck from our Ford showroom or go online to davisfordsales.com and search our new and used inventory to see what is on our lot. So stop by and test drive the all-new fuel-efficient Ford Focus or Ford Fusion, or the new Ford Explorer or F-150. Go further with Davis Ford, 904 West Main Street in Fulton, or online davisfordsales.com.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As ICC trails at 9-8, we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Gulf Coast, impressive rally to come back and lead this contest. Real quick before we get going here, got a text message, and I missed this one earlier, so I apologize, Mike. Is Mike Powell checking in all the way back in Arkansas. I know Mike's excited as Austin has committed to Ole Miss next year, as he'll spend one season with us here in Fulton before joining the Rebels out there in Oxford. That pitch is going to miss for a ball. 2-0 now is the count. Ike Williams, he is 1 for 3 on the day with a single. He did walk, was caught trying to steal all the way back in the first, which, by the way, that first American National Bank opening pitch came your way at 2:05. That pitch inside for a ball. 3-0 now goes the count. This is Ellis on the hill here for the Indians. He's now in line for the decision. Darby Gilbert still in line for the decision for Gulf Coast. Cole Kittrell, if they're able to hold on for the win, will get it save. And that was going to be ball 4. So Ike Williams doing his job, getting on base to start the inning here. Second time he's walked today. And now this will bring up Miller Hancock. He's been a tough out today. He has struck out twice, but other than that, he's doubled, had a single, and scored a run. That was in the previous inning. In the 7th, his double came back in the first. He was left stranded, what feels like 2 days ago. So a runner at first and no outs here as Ike Williams gets a walk to start us off here in the bottom of the 8th. Shows bunt, pops it up, and goes straight back over the top of us here in the ICC Alumni Affairs and Foundation broadcast booth. If you would like to contribute to Itawamba Community College, whether it be for scholarships, building funds, or more, visit iccms.edu. That's iccms.edu. Dr. Jan Reed Bunch, Jim Ingram, and Tilda Bushlawn doing a great job for a very important role there at the college. In the Alumni Association, you can join that as well. So 0-1 is the count. Shows bunt, pulls back, and takes that one for a ball. 1-1 is the count now here. Ellis, he came in the 7th inning with no outs in the inning. He did give up that 3-run home run to Davis, and that looms large now for the Indians. ICC will be down to their final outs as this bunt attempt is pulled back on and taken for a ball. So Gulf Coast trying to execute a little bit of small ball here, see if they can advance the runner with no outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Russell Bunch creeping in a little bit on the grass now over there at third base. Medlin still holding the runner over at first. See if they keep the bunt on in this situation for Hancock. He is going to square to show it. Pops it up, and it's going to be an out recorded. He's going to look the runner back to first, so a good job that time by Braden Ellis to go up and get that out. And now here comes D. Hawthorne. He had a big-time double as he doubled in a run to score the first run of the bottom of the 7th, and then it was a 3-run home run. That's the difference in the game so far. This is a shot to center field. Jackson Lancaster is going to have to run back and will camp underneath it for the out. Lancaster doing a good job locating that center field wall so that he had plenty of room to adjust to the play and squeezes for out number 2. Good pitch that time for Braden Ellis to get the long fly ball for out number 2. The runner was unable to advance as he was basically a step away from second, just in case the ball did get over his head. And now with 2 outs, this is going to be Brandon Parker. Parker walked, scored a run in his previous at-bat. He also singled and scored back in the 6th. Popped up to second and flew out to center, a deep fly ball to end the first. So with 2 outs and a runner at first, we're in the bottom of the 8th inning. ICC trailing 9-8 to Gulf Coast. This pitch fouled out of play going towards the road, and that will be for strike 1. Remind you, we'll have a abbreviated version of the Renaissance Bank postgame report because I can feel my voice going out. So that makes for a good day. 0-1 is the count with 2 outs and a runner over at first base. This pitch jams in, fouls it back off the netting right here in your living room. And 0-2 now is the count here on Brandon Parker. Parker trying to extend the inning. It was a pop-up on a bunt attempt by Hancock for out number 1, a deep fly ball to center field by Hawthorne for out number 2. Runner at first, that's Ike Williams, who started the inning off with a walk. So winning the 0-2 offering here. And there's strike. No. Good looking pitch there for strike 3, but the umpire calls it a ball. Hey. And now you got some ICC and Gulf Coast fans kind of chirping back at each other after that ball call. Looked pretty good from up here, but a tough break there for the Indians. 1-2 is the count. That one's going to be low and get away, and the runner will head to second on the pass ball. So a big-time play there after we thought we had strike 3. The ball in the turf, if you will, got away as it just squeaked out from underneath the glove of Austin Powell. And now the count goes 2-2 with the runner moving into scoring position. This is still Brandon Parker at the plate. He's playing in right field today. He's been busy as he's watched a couple of home runs fly over his head. He actually tried to climb the ladder and get the one of LB earlier, as this was going to be fouled back off the netting. Good at bat right now from Brandon Parker. If you're the Indians, you want to get Parker here because you don't want the next guy up to come to the plate with runners on the bases, as Alden Davis just a triple away from hitting for the cycle. He's 4 for 4 with a pair of singles, a double, and a home run. Of course, his home run was that 3-1 blast. It's the biggest difference in the game right now here as we're in the bottom of the 8th, 9-8, Gulf Coast with the lead. And there's a shot out to center field, and Lancaster will jog back, then come up and make the play for out number 3. So just call that a line out to center field to end the inning. A big out there as the Indians do get out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. For ICC, it's do or die time. We move to the top of the 9th inning. Gulf Coast with a 9-8 lead. We'll take a break and hear a few words from our sponsors and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
My burger goes best with mustard.
Ketchup and mustard.
Grass-fed beef.
No, corn-fed.
On the grill.
Now, flat top.
Iceberg lettuce.
Nah,
Arugula.
jalapeno.
No way. Avocado, dude.
Medium rare. Gotta be well done. Brioche.
Sesame seeds.
American cheese.
Cheddar.
Can I have a turkey burger? What? Turkeys are for Thanksgiving, man. I like my burger with the Coke.
I'll agree to that. Strictly with a Coke.
Only with the Coke.
Coke and a burger. Come on.
All right.
That's where you get the flavor.
First American National Bank is a local bank. Our 10 locations are right here in Northeast Mississippi. Banking decisions are made locally by people who live here, and it's been that way for more than 50 years. Our involvement in the community is important to us. That's where our roots are. Technology, it changes daily, but our community is what keeps us together. If you like high-tech banking, we've got that too. Follow the flag to First American National Bank, from Iuka to Tupelo.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we move now to the top of the 9th inning. ICC trailing at 9-8. The Bulldogs 3 outs away from picking up I'm not going to call it a must-win situation. The Bulldogs are in the playoffs, but if they could find a sweep today, that could be the difference in hosting or traveling for the first round of the best-of-3 series. Do have an update from Brother Chris. He says it's official. The Indians win the title outright as Pearl River defeats Northwest 11-6. Jones moves up to second place. The Rangers fall to third because Jones holds a tiebreaker with the Rangers. And Northeast gets a 2-out hit to take a 3-2 lead over Hines after 8 complete. And the tarp is still out at Colin. Your situation here, 9-8, is Justin Medlin is at the plate for the Indians. Watches that pitch drift high and outside for a ball. Well, darned if you do, darned if you don't decide to pitch to Justin Medlin today, as he is 2 for 4 with a pair of home runs, a 3-run bomb, and a solo home run that snuck its way out of the ballpark, both of those to right field. He has popped up in foul territory to third and flew out to center. That pitch, high and inside for ball 2, 2-0 now, is the count. It's Medlin, Coker, and Powell all due up here for the Indians. We're in the top of the 9th. ICC trailing 9-8. Got to have some runners on the bases and find a way to get a run on the board here to extend this frame. That pitch missing outside for a ball. I don't know if you maybe just see if you can get a very aggressive Medlin to try to swing at a pitch in this situation, or if this is an intentional walk where you just don't really give him anything to hit. So 3-0 now is the count. It'll be red light on here for Medlin. And that's going to be the case as Justin will get a walk to start the contest. So ICC does have the tying run on base now here with no outs in the top of the ninth. High drama here in Perkinston. As now this will bring Brett Coker to the plate. Coker was called out on a tough play to end the sixth that fired up the ICC faithful. He's 0 for 4 on the day with a pair of ground outs to the shortstop. He has struck out and also flown out to right. Time is taken here by Gulf Coast, and we'll have a slow roll to the mound here, and we'll see if we might have a change. Let's take a break, and we're going to hear a word from Cagle Eye Center. Back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
The longer a person has diabetes, the more likely they are to develop diabetic retinopathy. If left untreated, diabetic retinopathy can lead to blindness. That's why it's important for diabetics to have a comprehensive eye examination with dilation once a year. I'm Dr. Laurie Cagle of Cagle Eye Center in Fulton. We offer comprehensive eye exams to provide diagnosis and treatment of various eye diseases. Browse our large selection of frames available in prescription and non-prescription. Call to schedule your appointment today at Cagle Eye Center in Fulton.
And welcome back. It doesn't appear that we're going to have a change here in this situation, or if they do, they're just waiting late to make the call. Another Renaissance Bank scoreboard update. Northeast defeats Hines 6-2 and takes a one-game lead over Colin and Hines for one of the last two spots in the playoffs. The Tarp still on at Colin, so they could have a pretty lengthy delay there at Colin. So our other final today has been Holmes over Southwest 11-7. So now with the tying run at first base, Brett Coker will come to the plate. It's still going to be Cole Kittrell on the hill here for the Bulldogs. Top of the ninth inning. ICC trailing 9-8. Tying run is at first. Lays the bunt down. They're only going to have one play, and it's going to be to first, and it's going to be in time. So a nicely executed sacrifice bunt, 1-3 on the putout. That sacrifice being brought to you by the ICC Baptist Student Union, reminding you of the ultimate sacrifice paid for our sins. That's the ICC BSU. They will not be meeting anymore because guess what? Today was the last day of finals. So school is over for our students. There might be a few little finals left for some of the athletes that have missed maybe today, but now the tying run is at second base, and this is going to be Austin Powell. He's 2 for 2 on the day. He singled twice. That was in the second. He scored a run. He also singled but was left stranded in the third. Since then, has struck out on back-to-back appearances. And now he's going to be hit by a pitch, and that one hurt. He heard the thud all the way up here. And so Austin will take his time heading down to first base. Don't know if that maybe had got him just above that protective elbow gear, or maybe caught him on that shoulder, and he's going to head down to first. And he's a true baseball player. He didn't rub it. And so they're going to let him stretch it out as the infield umpire is going to check on Austin. He says, yes, I'm good. So now the go-ahead run is on base here for the Indians. And this is going to be Jacob Hall. Hall, he's got a flair for dramatics. He has had a grand slam, so he can hit for power. As he looks at that pitch, and that one nearly hits him. So Kittrell trying to work inside has lost control a little bit, and that one goes for a ball. They do have a guy warming up in the bullpen here for the Bulldogs, as he's been warming up for quite a while. Sidearm thrower. So 1-0 is the count here to Hall. Fastball, and Hall fouls this one off. 1-1 now is the count. 9-8, Gulf Coast with the lead. We're in the top of the ninth inning. There is one out after that sacrifice bunt by Brett Coker. Moved Justin Medlin to second. That it was a hit by pitch to Austin Powell. And he represents the go-ahead run here for the Indians in the top of the ninth. Jacob Hall at the plate. Hall looks at that pitch. It's missing outside for a ball. 2-1 now is the count. Again, we appreciate everyone that's tuned in this afternoon, and I do apologize if my voice is sounding bad, as it's just going away right now. So hopefully we'll be able to make it through the day, and I'll shut up all day tomorrow so I can do softball on Sunday. Ground ball, and it's going to be a foul ball. Hard hit ball down the line there. 2-2 now is the count here on Jacob Hall, the DH. Lane Domino is on deck for the Indians. Two balls, two strikes, one out. Runners at first and second. Tying run, that's the one the Indians are concerned with right now to at least extend this frame. That's Justin Medlin. That pitch is going to miss outside for a ball. Now 3-2 goes the count here on Jacob Hall. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Runners at first and second. 9-8. Gulf Coast with the lead. Payoff pitch coming here to Hall from Kittrell. Hall laces one. Right fielder's going to have to get to it. It's not going to get to it. 1 run will score. The ball gets away, and this is going to be a double and a big-time clutch hit there for Jacob Hall. We said it. When the Indians have needed big hits this year, Jacob Hall has been the guy to come up with it, and that's a big-time double there. And we've got a tied contest, 9-9, an RBI double off the bat of Jacob Hall. And then Brett Coker, or no, excuse me, that was Austin Powell, who advanced to third. He actually kind of had to wait up a second. And a big-time play there as now we're tied at 9. And now the Indians trying to get some more damage done here. Runners still in scoring position. Go-ahead run is now at third base. There's 1 out, and this is Lane Domino, who has a pair of hits in his pockets this afternoon. Domino, that ball gets away, and the runner will not be able to advance. That's what we talked about. Depending on where the ball hits off the backstop, sometimes it's able to bounce back pretty hard, and it did hit the lower part of the backstop that time. It took a favorable hop for the Bulldogs. Now, if it gets off the netting, you probably score on that, but a good job by Lane Domino to quickly wave the runner back to third, and then Jacob Hall recognized that quickly and scampered back to second as well. 1-0 now is the count here to Lane Domino. So Domino at the plate. Would love to find his third hit of the day. Looks at that pitch outside for a ball. He singled and stole a base. That was in the second before he was erased on a fielder's choice. Singled, scored a run. That was back in the fourth. Struck out to end the fifth and popped up in foul territory to the first baseman to end the seventh. So looking to redeem himself here and push across that go-ahead run in the top of the ninth inning. There's runners in scoring position here for the Indians. That pitch missing outside, borderline pitch, not going the way of the Bulldogs. And now you're starting to hear the boo birds come out from the Gulf Coast fans as they were cheering those pitches earlier when they were called for balls. And of course, like the Indians, if it's called a ball against their favor, they're going to boo as well. So that's just the fandom of the game and the unfortunate part of being an umpire in the game of baseball. Time is taken here as Jacob Hall requests for time and was trying to tie his shoe, and then the strap on the shin guard of Domino came undone and actually came off now, and he just ripped it off and says, forget about it. We got a game to win here. 3-0 is the count here to Lane Domino. For ICC, would love to find him to get away on base here and load the bases with only 1 out. We're at the top of the ninth inning. Runners on second and third here for the Indians. Domino looks at ball 4. So the Indians will have bases loaded now with 1 out. We'll see if Gulf Coast will elect to go to the bullpen here, as this is going to be Russell Bunch coming to the plate. And they are going to do so. We're going to take a break and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
Man, these Red Bull slushes are invigorating, right?
I know it, man. I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling pumped. I want to jump this thing.
I don't know if that's such a good idea, TJ.
No, man, I need help. Can we jump this thing?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Rush in for Sonic's new Red Bull slushes. Half price during happy hour.
Bacon, Swiss cheese, juicy chicken on a King's Hawaiian bun.
Oh, what else is it saying?
It's saying you still owe me that $30.
Hang up!
Hurry into Sonic for the King's Hawaiian Chicken or Burger Club and try order ahead to get happy hour anytime.
Ever since you got that license, you haven't stopped moving forward. Now that you're older and on the move, you need a safer place to keep your money. We get it. A student checking account frees you up with things like mobile check deposit to take care of that check from grandma without having to stop at a bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And stop worrying about ATM fees. We'll pay you back for those. Worry about your future, not your money. And know that we'll stick with you wherever you go. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, Your Itawama County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
Davis Ford in Fulton is your Ford dealer for new cars, trucks, and SUVs and has a wide inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Find your next dream car or truck from our Ford showroom or go online to davisfordsales.com and search our new and used inventory to see what is on our lot. So stop by and test drive the all-new fuel-efficient Ford Focus or Ford Fusion or the new Ford Explorer or F-150. Go further with Davis Ford, 904 West Main Street in Fulton or online davisfordsales.com.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Bases loaded here for the Indians. There's one out and a new pitcher coming into the game here for the Bulldogs, as this is going to be number 31, Justin Lockheed. He is 4-1 on the year with 23 2/3 innings. He's given up 18 hits, 12 runs, 8 of those earned, 19 walks, 25 strikeouts. He has a 3.04 ERA. Russell Bunch swings on the first pitch he sees, and this one's going to be down the line and foul for strike one. Well, bases full of the Indians here, as Russell Bunch is 1 for 3 on the day. He singled, was left stranded in scoring position back in the fourth, walked, and was left stranded in scoring position back in the second as well. Russell looking for his second hit of the day. It could be a big one, as the Indians have a lot of speed on the bases right now. As that pitch clips the corner of the plate and called a strike. 0-2 is the count. Well, Bunch thought that one was up. So did the rest of the ICC faithful. The only one that matters in the ballpark, though, is the guy behind the plate. 0-2 now is the count here to Russell Bunch. 9-9 is your score. One out, bases loaded here for ICC. That pitch way outside. Good eye on the part of Bunch to hold off on that one. Not a bad pitch from Locke to try to get him to chase there, but Bunch did not. So 1-2 is the count. One out. Bases loaded here for the Indians in the top of the ninth inning. They've scored one already to tie at 9-9. Bunch fouls this one off and keeps the at-bat alive here. Good job by Russell to find a piece of that one. And Russell's last at-bat, he had a check swing that just stayed fair and was a 1-3 on the putout. He lined out to center field in the bat before that. Singled in the fourth, and as we said, walked and was left stranded in the second. So 1-2 is the count here. Bunch at the plate trying to drive in the go-ahead run for the Indians. Bunch pops this one up, and it's not going to be deep enough. It looks like it's going to stay in on the infield. Infield fly rule is in effect as he goes up in foul territory. So a nice pitch and a good job that time by Justin Lockheed to get the out. Now we go to the top of the lineup here in Kyle Krieger. Boy, the Indians do not want to leave this situation with bases loaded in a tied contest. They need to try to find some hits here and see if they can get this merry-go-round spinning with 2 outs. Gut check time for the Indians. 9-9 is your score. Top of the ninth inning. They've already forced this one inning to extend to the bottom half, but they need to pick up some more runs here to at least have a chance to win it. That ball gets away. And the run will score on the wild pitch. Clutch there as the runners also advance on the play. That was Austin Powell who came around to score on the wild pitch, and now ICC leads it 10-9. Runners also advance. Hall to third, Domino to second, and Domino's got plenty of speed to burn here, so something to the gap could be trouble for the Bulldogs. 9-10 now, ICC with the lead. Krieger at the plate with a 1-0 count. That pitch missing low and outside for ball 2. Now the runners on the base still belong to Cole Kittrell for the Bulldogs. There's not a runner on base right now that belongs to Justin Lockheed, as he is trying to get out of this inning with minimum damage done. That pitch finds the corner of the plate for a strike. 2-1 now is the count count here to Kyle Krieger. We're waiting the 2-1 offering here to Krieger. Jams him and it's going to be a ground ball to the third baseman. Throw over is in time. He thought it was a foul ball, so Krieger did not run that one out. 5-3 was the put out, so it would have been a routine play anyway in that situation. So the Indians, though, do get 2 runs on 1 hit, and now they're going to go out and appeal this one to the infield. I will be simply amazed if they overturn this call in this situation. And it could be a big one if they do. I don't think the infield umpire, he would have came in and said something on that one. And I'm going to have to agree with the crew here. It was not a foul ball in that case. And 5-3 will get the out. But the Indians do get 2 runs on 1 hit, no errors, and lead it 10-9. Can the Indians find a way to win this one in dramatic fashion as they battle back to take a 10-9 lead? We'll take a break and find out when we come back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
Student involvement is a top priority here at Itawamba Community College.
If you want to be involved with student government, then the Student Government Association is the place for you.
If you have a stellar GPA, then Phi Theta Kappa is for you.
If you're interested in the diverse culture of our campus population, then the Diversity Club is for you.
If you're interested in leadership and service, then Indian Delegation is for you.
If you're majoring in computer programming or computer networking, then CPNA, the Computer Programming Networking Association, is for you.
If you're interested in good conversations and free lunch on Thursdays, then the Wesley Foundation is for you.
Our health science programs also have specific organizations for those majors.
Student Activities is excited to bring you new opportunities here at the ICC Tupelo campus.
Whatever your passion may be, we have a place for you.
This video is brought to you by Phi Theta Kappa, Beta Chi Sigma, Tupelo campus.
Celebrate outrageous amounts of toppings with Little Caesars Extra Most Bestest. With the most cheese and now with the most toppings at the nation's best price. Create your favorite pizza starting at $6. Pay, then express pickup at Little Caesars.
Pizza. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as Kyle Krieger enters the pitch here for the Indians. In the bottom of the 9th inning, ICC takes a 10-9 lead after it was a RBI double from Jacob Hall that scored Justin Medlin, who walked to start the inning. And then it was Austin Powell who scored on a wild pitch to give ICC a 10-0 lead. Let's take a look at some Sonic stats here on your new pitcher. This is Kyle Krieger. Kyle has 3 saves on the year. He's 5-2 overall. He is coming in a save situation here. He's pitched 29 2/3 innings. He's given up 31 hits, 11 runs, 9 of those earned, 9 walks, 25 strikeouts. He has a 2.73 ERA. This first pitch fouled out of play for strike 1. As I said, we're going to battle through this as my voice is going bye-bye. 10-9, ICC is battled back here to take the lead. 0-1 is the count as this is Allen Davis. Ground ball. It's going to be off the glove of the pitcher. Going to have to hurry. To throw over is in time. For the first time today, the Indians retire Davis, and that might be the biggest time of the day as the new second baseman into the contest was Braden Ellis, who was pitching in this situation. And so he went from pitcher to second baseman when Kyle Krieger came in to pitch. The ball was actually off the glove of Krieger. Great job by Ellis to come charging in to get out number 1. So now this is going to be Cullen O'Shea at the plate. Swings on the first one he sees. It's going to be the second baseman. Ellis going to have to hurry. Throw over is there in time. A beautiful stretch on the part of Justin Medlin to get that one, and now there's 2 away. What a play by Justin Medlin to stretch to his glove side, and an awkward stretch, if you will, as he's going to take a little walk off of the first base side, and now there's 2 away, and Matt Enlow to the plate. Can the Indians find a way to win this one? They have rallied after trailing 9-8 to get 2 runs scored in the top half of the inning to extend it. That pitch, a slider in there for a strike. Matt Enlow, he is 0 for 3 on the day. He lined into a double play, chases that one for strike 2. He was hit by a pitch in his previous at-bat, reached on a fielder's choice, did score a run, and flew out to center. Krieger trying to get a 3-up, 3-down inning here. 0-2 pitch coming. Fastball, grounder, high chopper. Bunch is going to have to hurry. Bear hands it, throws it over. No, they're going to say he's safe. Well, the umpire owed the Indians 1, and he didn't give it to him. And so a 2-out single by Matt Enlow will extend the contest here. It was a tough play as the chopper was high. Enlow's got pretty good speed for a catcher. He was able to leg that one out. And now the tying run is at the plate. They're going to have a runner come in this situation for the Bulldogs. As this looks like number 6, maybe. Yes, number 6 coming in to run here for the Bulldogs. Thought the Indians had closed it up there, but instead a bang-bang play going in the way of the Bulldogs. And now this will be Estill representing the tying run over at first base. There are still 2 outs, and here comes Fisher Ray to the plate. Takes a look at that first pitch, high and outside for a ball. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs and a runner at first base. That is the tying run over at first base. We're in the bottom of the 9th. That pitch outside, and Krieger just couldn't quite get on top of that one to get it to curve back in. 2-0 now goes the count here to Fisher Ray. Lee is on deck. Castor Lee, who popped up in foul territory. Fisher Ray, he is 1 for 3 on the day with a strikeout and a walk. He did double, however, and drive in 2 runs. That was back in the 2nd. There's a liner to the shortstop, and it's going to be grabbed. What a play in the toss to 2nd, and the Indians win it. An amazing play there by Brett Coker at shortstop. 6-4, and the Indians find a way to come back and win this one. How, I don't know, but ICC wins it by the final score of 10-9. We're going to move directly into the Renaissance Bank postgame report as ICC wins it 10-9. They scored 2 runs in the top of the 9th inning. They scored 10 runs on 14 hits, 1 error. And then Gulf Coast goes 9 runs on 14 hits, also 1 error. Braden Ellis gets the win. Kyle Krieger gets the save. Cole Kittrell is on the hook for the loss in this one. For ICC, it was, Kyle Krieger. He was 1 for 5 on the day, pair of RBIs. Walked and scored a run. For Jackson Lancaster, he was 2 for 4 with a walk, stole 2 bases, did score a run. LeBryant Siddell was 2 for 5 on the day. He had a solo home run, a single, and another run scored. Justin Medlin is going to be our Sonic co-star of the game as he had a pair of home runs, 4 RBIs. He went 2 for 4 with a walk and another run scored, so he did score 3 runs on the afternoon. Brett Coker was 0 for 4. Questionable call that called him out there at first to end the 6th. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that breaks a 20-game hit streak for Brett Coker on that questionable call. He did have a sacrifice bunt in that 2-run inning that helped the Indians come back and win the contest. Austin Powell was 2 for 4 on the day. He was hit by a pitch and scored the eventual game-winning run on a wild pitch. Jacob Hall had a RBI double. That was his only hit of the day. He was 1 for 4 with the walk. He did advance on a wild pitch, was left stranded. Lane Domino, he had 2 singles, stole the base, scored a run. He did walk, so he was 2 for 4 on the day. Russell Bunch had that questionable not questionable ground out. That was actually a ground out that was called on Krieger. But Russell Bunch was 1 for 4 with a walk and a single. For Gulf Coast, Ike Williams had a hit. Miller Hancock had 2 hits and a double, one of those. D. Hawthorne had a double. Brandon Parker had a single and walked, and then an impressive day at the plate by Davis. He was 3 for 4 on the day. He was a triple away from the cycle, had 2 singles, a double, and a 3-run home run. He also grounded out to second. Cullen O'Shea was 2 for 5 on the day with a pair of singles, an RBI, and a run scored. He did strike out. Matt Enlow was 1 for 4 on the day. He was hit by a pitch single, but his runner, Estill, was left stranded. He did represent the tying run there in the bottom of the 9th. Fisher Ray was 2 for 4 on the day with a 2-run double and a walk and a strikeout. Nick Sims was 1 for 3 with a single and an RBI. Castor Lee was 0 for 1 on the day. Our other Sonic co-star of the game, Kyle Krieger, able to come in and pick up his 4th save of the season. And Braden Ellis improves to 1-0 on the year. So Ellis picking up his first win of the season. Well, that's going to do it here for the Renaissance Bank postgame report. We're going to take a timeout, be back in about 20 to 30 minutes. I'm hopefully going to keep my voice in between here and there. So I'm going to shut up between the games as ICC wins the first game of the day by the final score of 10 to 9. We'll take a break and be back with Game 2 right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
Ever since you got that license, you haven't stopped moving forward. Now that you're older and on the move, you need a safer place to keep your money. We get it. A student checking account frees you up with things like mobile check deposit to take care of that check from grandma without having to stop at a bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And stop worrying about ATM fees. We'll pay you back for those. Worry about your future, not your money. And know that we'll stick with you wherever you go. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC,